Welcome to the OSG Gang's live stream, where you can expect live, simple garage talk. Today's special guest is Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we have a special guest in the house. We have VRM, aka Donald. He's with us today, and also, as you know, we have the co-host, Big Stick Stings, aka Rick, in the house as well. So I hope you guys enjoy today, and let's get down to business. Start chatting.
Let's go.
First of all, I want to thank you guys for having me on, for the opportunity to, reach out to some of your subscribers and, and just get to know each other a little better. You know what I mean? James and I, we've hung out before, but haven't really hung out with Big Stick Stangs, and hopefully, we can get to know each other a little better and have fun talking garage stuff,
For sure.
That's
It's
what
a
it's all
pleasure to have
about.
you on. Go ahead, Rick.
That's what it's all about. I appreciate Donald being our guest. Thank you so much.
Again, thanks for having me.
Definitely. So how did you get started in the whole car game?
Honestly, it goes back to my dad. And a quick shout out, my dad just turned 80 on Thursday, so happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
Awesome.
He's Don Senior. Don Senior.
Don Senior.
I'm a junior, so my dad is the Don,
The Don.
He just turned 80 on Thursday, and really, it goes back to when I was a kid. He got home from Vietnam and had a 69 Mach 1 brand new. So that's what we had when I was a kid. And that's kind of why I'm a Ford guy and a Mustang guy. And it's all because of my dad. So want to give you a shout out. We love you, Dad. Happy 80th. Yeah. We'll be back to visit in a few weeks.
And much love to you, Don Senior. For sure.
Happy birthday. 69 Mach 1s are one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was
indeed.
a cool car, man. It was really cool.
Nice.
Was it a 428 or 351?
It was a 351. You had the 351. It was a manual transmission. It was kind of that champagne gold color.
Oh, nice.
And with the black hood,
Yes.
And all that kind of stuff. So, but it wasn't like a Cobra Jet, or it wasn't a super high end model, but it was still really cool, And those 69s, I don't think were real heavy, so even a 351 would be pretty quick in that. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
It is. I know from experience.
Yeah. One Mach 1 owner to another. I mean, yeah. Rick has a Mach 1. Yours is a 71. Is that right?
No, hell no. Don't insult that car. It's a 70.
My bad.
71. They got fat and piggly. I don't dislike them, but
yeah,
not worth as much as a 69 or 70, but unless it's got a 429 maybe. But
yeah,
I've seen some nice ones, but man, you really can't see out the back window on those cars.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're worse than mine. But Don, tell us a little bit about your car. I know it's an 86.
I think he froze up. Hopefully he's still with us.
Oh, he bounced out.
Hopefully he'll bounce back in. I know he has an 86 GT.
Yeah.
That he's modified, and he keeps modifying it, and he has two engines with him, right? So he has the one that's in the car, and then the one that he currently races, and then he has the Boss block, and I think a 289 block as well. So
yeah, I didn't know about the Boss block. I've been subscribed to Donald for, I guess, 5 years.
Okay, there he is.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I lost connection there for a second.
Oh, it's all good.
All good.
Anyway.
So Rick had a question for you.
Sure. Shoot. I missed
look at this crazy dog. Tell us about your 86.
So I got
a lot to tell, but people that don't know, tell everyone about it.
So I got this car probably about 10 years ago in maybe I think it was late 2016. Honestly, just never had money for a toy or a hobby car in the past, and got to the point in my career, in my life, where I had could scratch together like I got this car for $4,000 locally
What?
here.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was a bone stock 86. It was AOD, you know, and I did that for a while, but it hadn't been on the road in 9 years. So it definitely needed some rehab work. We barely got the thing home. I was able to drive it home from the seller, but we barely got it home. The brakes were so bad on it, like they were going straight to the floor. My wife had to follow me. I was like, "Don't follow too close." I don't know. These brakes aren't very good. But we got it home, and then I just slowly but surely, you know, took it apart, and it was the rusty. It was the rusty water in the cooling system that was rusty. So all the water pump bolts were broken. You know, you guys have all been there.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
geez.
the bolts rusted in the timing cover, all that kind of stuff. So it was probably about 6 months of rehabbing and get it street worthy, basically, in the driveway here. So, and then after that, my next door neighbor Steve that lives over here, he's a drag racer, and he was like, "Man, we should take that thing to the track," you know. So then that opened up. That was down another rabbit hole, you know.
There it goes.
But we've had a lot of fun. But Steve was one of the first ones that went to the track with me when Sacramento Raceway was still open here in town.
Okay.
And you know, and it was kind of cool. You know, we used to the track is only 13 miles from my house, so we could drive it to the track, and you know, Steve would ride with me, or my stepson would go, or my son would go, and we didn't have to go on the freeway or anything. It was all we could go on the back roads. So it was awesome when Sacramento Raceway was open. We could go on the Wednesday nights was their streetcar night, you know, like $20 entry and make as many hits as you want the whole night. But there was no prep on the track. So basically the first pass I made in this car was like a 1470 something. Whew. Because I didn't know what it was going to do, and I was nervous, frankly. I'd never drag raced before in my life. Until 2019 was the first pass I made in this car. And then the second pass, I did, you know, just did a little foot braking and stuff like that, and it went 1277 the second pass. So
and
that's
that was
good,
that bone stock, or
no? By that time I think I had I don't know, I did the whole started with bone stock, and then I did you know, I did like a GT40 kind of Cobra clone. I did a GT40 kind of Ported Explorer top end and a small comp cam, and then the GT40 heads went. That's when I got the trick flow heads. So I'm pretty sure it was the trick flow heads and the small comp cam. Ported Explorer was a 1277 pass. My second time down the track, the very first time I went racing, and then from there it's just been trying to, you know. Then my big goal was to get into the teams, which I was able to do last year, you know, and now pretty consistently. So
it keeps going.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I did. I played around with nitrous a little bit. Did need a couple of nitrous passes. And nitrous is pretty fun, man. It's pretty awesome. The problem is nitrous is so expensive around here. Like to refill your bottle. They the local speed shop around here, they will not, like, you know, the bottles are like 10, what they call 10 pounds, but you fill it up to where the bottle weighs 25 pounds, and that's got full 10 pounds of gas in it, you know.
Interesting.
But what they do, so if you're down to like 8 pounds, you know, whatever you want to top up, they won't top it up. They have to suck it all out and then put it all back in, and they charge you for like a full refill. So
that's kind of a waste of money.
Yeah. So I was exploring the nitrous thing, but I don't know if nitrous is kind of at least around here. It's just it's not worth the squeeze, ain't worth the juice, I guess. You know what I mean? I'd rather do the like James. I love the Vortex. Those are kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
I
sold my Vortex.
You're like yeah. Your car's pretty awesome with the Vortex, you know. I mean, so that's kind of maybe the direction I want to go.
Okay.
With this boss block.
Okay.
But anyway.
So how much boost do you plan on running with the boss block?
You know, that much I don't know. I mean, when when I build this thing, I'm going to do the strip block first because that way I'm not committed to. I do have these kind of dome pistons I want to use, the Molly domes. So
Okay.
the really the lowest I could probably, well, I mean, I could probably get down to like 10.5 to 1 with if I went with like 70cc AFR heads. And AFR makes the small combustion chamber, the 58cc, and then they do the larger ones for base for 70cc. So if
Yeah, I can barely hear you,
something,
Donald.
oh, I'm sorry, man.
I can barely hear you.
I'm not sure what else I can do.
There you go. A little bit more if you could.
I don't know if maybe I slid too far away, but
yeah, that's good. That's good.
If I get
I was gonna say, shout out to Bama. He's joined us, and you got Puzzle Fox, Jesse, and Mr. Blitzkrieg 1987 is in the house as well. They're in the comments. And if any of you guys out there that are listening, join us. If you have any questions for Donald, post them up. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions.
I'm gonna let this dog out. I'm listening.
All right, sounds good. And so, tell us about that 289 block you have sitting next to you.
So basically, in the 10 years I've been messing with this car, I've kind of acquired like 3 of everything for an 8.2 deck Mustang, So I was just looking at everything I have on the shelf here, and then my son started going racing with me, and he kind of expressed a little interest, like, man, it would be cool if I could make some passes. So I'm like, I got almost enough stuff to build a backup engine, and then if he's really serious, we can get a roller and throw it in there for him, Okay. So I'm like, let's just make these parts that are sitting here go to use, So I had these Pro Max heads. I had a bunch of intakes. I had, I was halfway there anyway. So I found a deal. Guy over in Napa Valley had posted this 289 block. He had already had a roll machine. He actually gave me the crank with it too. I've got a 289 crank that's from the machine shop also. For $100. So wow. I couldn't pass it up, man. I'm a Machine 289 block. It happened to be 40 over, which I had, my 349 is a 40 over distance. So I was like, man, what are the odds? Most people go 30 over, but this one was already 40 over. So anyway, I got that. I took the block to my machine shop. He said, oh yeah, everything looks good. Because the only thing, the home job was kind of rough. Because it was home for like the old cast iron rings, that the 289 would have come with on a regular rebuild. So he said, we just think, knock down the peaks of the home with a Scotch-Brite pad and throw your pistons in there and go. He said, looks good. You should keep running. So that's basically what I did. I got like $1,000 worth of machine work done on this block for $100, and so I figured I'd just go ahead and go for it.
Nice.
Went with the reason I went with a 331 stroker. The 289 bores are a little shorter, than a 302 bore. So I didn't want to draw the piston down too far in the bore with a 347 kit. So I went the shorter stroke 331.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's kind of the story behind that. Had some Pro Max heads, picked up a cheapy Vic Junior knockoff intake, that type of thing. So it wasn't. I don't have a whole lot into it, honestly. That's
right. And so do you plan on swapping the engines out and racing it, or?
Yeah. I definitely want to. I want to run it on the stand first because I'm not real familiar with these 289 blocks. Have a two-piece rear main seal versus a one-piece on a later 302. So I just want to fire it off, outside of the car and make sure we don't have any major leaks or anything before I drop it in. But yeah, I want to run it, and my 347 that's in the car, I want to take it out. And what I want to do with it is, the last machine shop I had bore this when I got my Wiseco pistons. I don't think they bored it correctly, and of course that machine shop's out of business, so the pistons are a little loose in the bore. They rock a little bit.
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's making a little. It's kind of got a fluttering sound when you're on the car, or when you're driving it, when you're under load. So what I was going to do is, you guys have heard of line-to-line coatings, where they coat
Mm-hmm.
your pistons.
Yeah.
They're coating. They can build up the skirt coating, and take up that looseness in the board
That
with their
clearance.
coating. Yes,
How
exactly.
reliable is that?
From my understanding, pretty good, but they're pretty close. They're actually like 2 hours from here. They have a location on the West Coast that's up in Nevada here, not too
Okay.
far from me. So I was actually going to plan on taking them up there and maybe doing a video while I'm up there. So that would be
Oh,
kind of
that'd be
neat.
cool.
But so that's kind of the plan when this comes apart is where it comes out is to take the pistons out and take them over to line to line coating in Nevada and have the pistons coated. And I guess they can fill it up, and then when you break it back in, the coating wears to where it wants to be
Oh,
and takes up that extra
the
clearance.
extra gap, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
What
that's
are they?
I don't want to go 60 over on a stock block.
Yeah.
no.
I'm already at 40
What
over on this.
What do they use to coat it with?
I think they have different options, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there, I guess.
Uh,
I did a little research, but I'm not super well versed on it. I do know it's what they call it's an abradable coating, so it'll wear to the clearance that it wants.
Okay.
But,
Is
but
is
I
there
would
like
have
a
to do more
basic?
research on that.
yeah, that's interesting because I haven't heard much about it. I've heard of it, but
Yeah,
I didn't even think about taking up extra clearance and you can make something work that wouldn't work before.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's apparently it's pretty popular, but I've never done it before, and that's really cool. So I figured I'd check it out. And
And
that's
so
kind of
when you,
what this backup came from. And then like, well, I still really can't put a lot of boost into this because it's a stock block. So then that's why I was like, hey,
right?
I just gotta pony up and build get the strong block.
hmm
James, you're gonna drop a 363 on your black widow, right?
I hope so. Pretty soon,
Yeah,
363
yeah,
stroker. So
yeah.
I
Are you
can't
gonna
wait
let
for that
somebody
one.
build that, or you getting a shop block from somebody,
Yeah,
or?
I'm gonna have Ford Strokers build it.
Oh yeah, that's where I get all my stuff from.
Oh. Hey
Cool.
Rick, you got a lot of background noise, man. I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm out in the garage.
Oh, okay. I could just hear stuff kind of falling and moving. So that's why I was just kind of saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my tripod right here set
Understood.
up. That's
All
what
right.
it is. I can mute it real quick.
Okay.
James, you'll be in good hands with Ford Strokers. I
Yeah.
ordered.
Yeah. I just,
Well, that's where I got these pistons and rods from.
are you serious? From
Oh yeah,
Jim? From Jim
Jim
up
and
there?
Nicole, his wife Nicole. Yeah,
Yep. Jim and
I
Nicole.
bought a lot of stuff from him over the years. He's great.
Okay. Cool,
And
man.
he's not the one. That Eagle crank I got did not come from him. So
Can't blame him for that one, right? So
no. I had the crank on order, and they were from him. I was going to get a Liberty crank from James, from James at a Ford Strokers, Jim
Jim.
and
Okay.
I paid for it, and then they called me back, and they refunded me because they were out of stock, and they did not have an ETA on a new crank. So I had to go
Okay.
elsewhere. But I did try to get my crank from him. So I've had very good luck with him. So I think you're in good hands, dude.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah, I was gonna put my own heads on and stuff, but I decided to go ahead and let him make it a long block, actually. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I'll just get it and throw my intake on it and throw it in the car.
Oh, that way
Because he's
it's done. It's done correctly, man.
exactly that was my reasoning.
Yeah.
So, and the block I'm going with is a Man O' War block. So,
Oh, okay. World Products.
yep. So if I
That
want to
thing's
throw
super
boost at it
beefy.
later, then I can.
I think you can take those up to like 3,000 horsepower, man. That's a pretty
believe
serious
so.
block. Man.
So I can throw me a big supercharger on it later.
Yep,
So.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's stronger than this block I got.
Oh yeah,
The Man O' War, yeah. Those things are super beefy. So you'll be able to throw whatever you want at that. Man.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, you're gonna be in good shape.
And I'm gonna have the Anderson N113 cam as well.
Yeah,
So it's a
they're good cams, man. Everybody runs those. I mean, they're classic cams that are still they make a lot of power. You know.
yeah. The
I think you're in
N113,
good.
from what I hear, is a pretty big cam. You know, it's
Yep.
so.
I think you're in good shape, man.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah. So what is your current setup in your GT?
So mine. So this is the my right here behind me. It's
Yep.
it's the original block, the 86 block. I have I think I have a Summit crank in this one, which it was made by Scat. I took it to my machine shop to get for the balancing and everything, and Rich over there at Performance, he's like, oh dude, you can see where they ground off Scat on the you know, and put it in the
Oh,
Summit box.
they
That's all
ground
they
the
did.
scat off.
Yep. And then I think it's got the Summit rods, which again are Scat, but they're the step up from the basic the basic I-beam rods. I think they're, instead of Pro Stock, they're called Pro Comp, and they
Okay.
come with bigger rod bolts, ARP rod bolts. So they're they're pretty stout rods, and I like those. And they're only like $100 more than the basic Scat I-beams. So I mean, I would recommend anybody to step up to those if you're going to do the trigger kit. But from there,
Okay.
I've got I like a lot of trick flow stuff. So I got a trick flow their number 4 cam, the stage 4 cam, second from
Nice.
the biggest. And I've got my trick flow heads that I bought like back in 2018 or something, and they've been ported by Big Dogs Porting. Tony at Big Dogs did these right when the pandemic started. I sent them in right before the pandemic,
Okay.
and he
How
did
long do you
their
have those?
huh? Excuse me.
I know he's backed up pretty good. How long did it take to get those back?
Well, this was about 6 years ago.
Right.
It was a 6-month turnaround. I sent them in like December, and I got them in like May.
That's
So
reasonable.
yeah, 6 months. But that was during the pandemic, you know, when everything was closed down. So I thought that was pretty good turnaround for everything being closed, you know. And I've been running those. I've been running those ever since. I had these Pro Max heads on this. I ran those for like one summer to test them out on here, and they did fine. But so Trick Flow Stage 4 cam, Trick Flow ported heads by Big Dogs, and then back when I told you the first passes I made that a ported Explorer, that was a Big Dogs ported Explorer I bought off eBay. So that's
Okay.
kind of
Right on.
what led me to those guys, you know.
Yeah.
And that did great. And I'll tell you, I want to give them a shout out because
Go
I
ahead.
did a video years ago where one of the runners in the lower part of the ported intake from them cracked. And Tony saw that video, and like 2 weeks later, a brand new lower intake showed up at my house. I didn't even ask for it. He replaced it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got to give those guys a shout out. That was really good service. And to be honest with you, you know, when I make passes with these heads, even going up to, I think this engine makes a little over 500 horsepower. Just by using the racing calculators and my time slips, you know, inputting everything. But anyway, you know, when you have a vacuum gauge on the car, you know, if you're full throttle and it's still at 0, that kind of means you don't have any restrictions in the intake system, you know.
Okay.
And
Okay.
these heads still, when I peg the gas, I don't show any vacuum at all. It's still at 0. So these heads, and they're still flowing enough to support, you know, the horsepower that we're making and running, you know, 130 miles an hour in the quarter mile. So,
well, that's impressive.
I really haven't had a reason to look for bigger heads yet, you know, or anything like that, even with a 347. So, I got to give them a shout out, man. They've done good by me, man. You know what I mean?
Well, they took care of you. That's good.
Yep.
Well,
yep, they have.
Steve from Alter Sting says, "Be Cam the world."
Right.
Hey, Steve.
Hey,
I've heard
you
that
know,
statement before.
I've never really done the alphabet cams, but they really sound good. And I tell you, guys make a lot of power and they run fast times with those. So, you know, I mean, say what you want about them, but you know, guys like, you know, Rodney at 50 Tussin, a lot of guys, man, dude, he runs super fast with the basic stuff, man. So you
Yeah,
can't
well, you
knock
know,
it,
my
man,
original cam was a B303, so
Yeah,
you know,
that was in there when I came up and saw your shop, huh? You had the B
exactly.
cam
Yep,
when we fired up your
yep,
car.
yep.
Yeah,
Sounded good too. I loved it. So
yes, man. They do, man. I don't know. They got, I mean, Ford engineers who designed it. You know, it can't be that bad. You know, it might be a
well,
little
I would really
outdated, but
hope
that
they
doesn't
know
mean
what
it's
they're
bad.
doing.
You know,
Yep, exactly. So
so
what
guys
made
run
you
plenty fast with those cams.
decide to go carbureted rather than EFI on your car?
You know, I didn't have a problem. My car ran good with EFI, but I couldn't figure out the tuning, man. It's above my pay grade. Using I had the most quarter horse in this car on like an A9P computer, and I was paying for remote tuning. The problem was the guy was so backed up that any changes took so long for him to adjust my tune and whatnot. So I was missing track days and stuff like that, waiting for him to update my tune. And I just got tired of it, man. You know, I mean, so I figured let's just try the carb. I mean, the thing was for me, when I went to a carburetor, like if I go to the track, 90% of the people here will be able to help me with a carburetor if I have an issue, you know.
Yep.
Nobody can plug into a Moats quarter horse and jump on my laptop, you know.
That's true.
So
That's true.
that was my impetus, you know. And like I said, you know, my next door neighbor Steve races, and his whole crew out there, they all can tune a carburetor. So I figured the support group was there with a carburetor, you know.
Right. No
I
You know,
doubt.
love
so
carburetors.
I was out here. I kind of felt like I was on an island of my own with the EFI and not knowing
Yeah.
how to really tune it, you know. So that was the main deal. Plus, I like the simplicity, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of the era I grew up in. I mean, I'm 55 years
Yeah.
old, so
Yeah.
that's
I
kind of
grew
what
up
I
in
grew
that
up with.
myself. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carbs
So
are fairly straightforward to tune, you know. So
yeah, I mean, and especially if you're just drag racing or you know wide open throttle tuning and not too worried about idle and you know all that kind of stuff. I don't street drive my car that much, so
right.
for wide open throttle with it, especially now that with AFR gauges, you know, with an air fuel
Yeah.
gauge, you can just look at the meter and make a jet change, you know.
That's true. That's true.
So
Now they have
anyway, that was
metering blocks that you can tune in the car.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to do that. I've got a AETs, but mine's
Oh, okay. Mine. This is.
mine's good
I
enough.
had a custom made Holly. Again, a guy from eBay, and I'll give him a shout out too. His name is Steve Mano. He's out of New Jersey, but he sells carburetors on eBay. And what you do is, you know, once you pay for it, and he sends you a sheet to fill out, a questionnaire, you know, and he custom
Yep,
builds it for you. So
I know
Nice.
about
I got to give,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, you tell him what
And I
gears,
tell you,
what cam, everything.
exactly,
Weight of the
yeah.
car.
He dialed it in. The only thing I changed because I was going to street drive it, I told him to set it up for drag racing, so he didn't put any power valves in it. So
Okay.
when I
Okay.
was street driving it, and he admitted, he said, "Hey, it's going to be a little rich cruising around the pits, but wide open throttle, it should be right there." And it was, but so that's the only thing I changed because I changed the front jets and I put a power valve in it, which basically
Put a,
equals out to what the back jets are, you
would
know.
you put
So,
a 45 in?
pardon me.
45 power valve or 65?
I put a four
What?
point. I started with a 6.5, and a 4.5 worked better for
That's
where it
what I'm
came in. Like
running.
you know where it kind of came in,
Yeah,
where my vacuum signals at with this cam. The 4.5 worked better,
that's what
but
I'm running too.
I have still the jets in the secondaries that he sent with it. They're 80s. I got 80s in the back, and then I put 70s and a power valve in the front. That's the only change I made, and I haven't had a stumble. I haven't had backfiring issues. I mean, no carburetor issues. So it was a pretty easy transition for me with having this custom made carburetor. It just kind of worked, you know. So I'm thankful for that, man. You know, and I got to give him a shout out.
No
He set
doubt.
it up
That's a
pretty good for
worthy
me.
worthy shout out, man.
Yeah,
For
He
sure.
yeah.
set it up pretty good for me out of the box. You know.
I wanted to try him, see, you know, I did my carburetor. You know, I built it and did
Uh-huh.
all the stuff and tuned it, but I don't know. He probably knows more than I do, but I got more power than I need.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I feel
you know, go ahead.
I'm running let's see, 78 in the back, I think it is. No,
You're
Hey,
close.
so-
Yeah, you're
got
close to where I'm
confused.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, about the same. With nozzle
And
in
it's
the
just
front, 31 and 37 in the back.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Discharge nozzle. I
So
got
I haven't even had to mess with those. I haven't had to mess with those. I haven't had to mess with the accelerator pump, the cam on the for the accelerator pump. I haven't had to mess with any of that stuff.
Nice.
He set it up pretty spot on right out of the box for me. So
I
And
got
you
it's a
can't
Holly
beat that.
HP.
There's a bug on. I
What
got
was
the 50cc pump on the back too. When you get into the
Okay.
back, it's kind of hits too hard.
Yeah, I haven't had to mess with any of that. So
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
It's
So
good.
so Steve from Alter Stings asked, what size carb you running?
Oh, it's a Holly HP. It's a 750 double pumper, but it has it has angular discharge nozzles in it. Doesn't have the down leg boosters. It's got the annular discharge like
What's
a
up,
Holly
Mark?
Dominator.
Yeah, those are
So
nice.
those are they're supposed to atomize the fuel better. That's why I went with that. Just from I watch a lot of just I soak up whatever knowledge I can. But like Andy at Unity Motorsports Garage, he recommended those in one of his videos. So I'm like, okay, I'll try those out. And they're on a
Nice.
Dominator. It's like, and they're supposed to atomize fuel better. So I'm like, sure, let's give it a go. I can always change it.
Yep.
All right. So here's a question
Yeah.
for you, Donald.
Sure.
So there's always been this debate, right? So which one do you think creates more power, the EFI or the carb?
Man, I mean,
Carburetor.
that's why it's a debate, I guess. But
Yeah, it's a
you know,
debate.
the
There is
pros,
no
the
right or
pros
wrong
of the carb for me was just for simplicity and tuning. I don't. They get supposed to make more power because of they cool the air charge down. The gas does
Uh-huh.
going through the intake manifold instead of just injecting right at the intake at the shooting the gas at the back of the intake valve. So that's the theory. I'm sure a really good tuner could probably make up the power, the couple
I'm sure.
horsepower you gain from cooling the inlet charge.
I'm sure.
But
I'm sure they could.
yeah, I'm not an expert on that.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think I did it. I did it hoping there was a little more power, but I did it really for the simplicity and that I can take the fuel bowls off and change the jets.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So
So
that's what I did it for.
So what size cowl hood do you have on your car?
Mine it's a 4-inch cowl. I didn't really want the 4-inch cowl, but when I decided to get the cowl hood was when I was running the Trick Flow Box R intake, that's taller.
Mhm.
The last EFI intake I had was a Trick Flow Box R, and that
Okay.
needed a cowl. And I wanted to get a 2.5, but this was during COVID, so the only thing in stock was the 4-inch. I was forced into the 4-inch basically just by what was available.
Yeah. How do you like it?
Well, obviously there's plenty of room, but
Yeah.
I would prefer the look of a 2.5, probably better, myself.
Yeah.
But I had to get what was available, during the COVID times. You know how everything was so scarce and supply chain issues and everything else.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah, it was
was
nuts.
the only thing I could find, So I was like, screw it, I'll just go with this. So
Okay. Okay.
but it's been fine. I mean, it's definitely a weight savings,
No
fiberglass hood.
doubt.
It's a good weight savings.
Yeah.
If you can. And also what I liked was it came in white, which kind of matched my car. I didn't have to paint it. It didn't look totally odd.
Oh, you didn't paint it? Oh man.
No. Well, if you come to my house and if you check out my car, it is a different white than 86 GTs are Oxford white. This is like a bright white. So it's kind of
Interesting.
But it's not terrible. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
I actually did try to find somebody to come and do a wrap on it, but they didn't have like specific Oxford white wrap. So I mean, what's the point then?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and leave it.
No, this is completely bare and raw. I put the hood boxes in it. I mean I put the hood pins in it,
Uh-huh.
That's really all I've done to it. So
Nice.
it's ready
Back
for
in the
paint, I
day,
guess.
everybody had a white hood.
Yeah,
You
nobody
know,
painted
back in
them.
the day, I mean, just put a fiberglass hood on. That was a classic look. Late 80s,
Yeah,
90s.
luckily it kind of matches my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mine's flat black, and I got a black car. So, but it's
there
not
you go.
fiberglass.
Right on. So what made you
Yeah.
decide to go with the 86 GT instead of like an Aero Fox body?
You know, again, it was what was available locally. Just
Oh,
popped up
just
on. I
available.
got it off
Okay.
Marketplace. Got it off Marketplace. It was like 2 towns over, and the price I could afford. So I was like, sure, let's go for it, man. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, I would like a classic Mustang more than even a Fox body, but these were what was popular when I was in high school. These
Yeah.
and the
Yes,
IROCs and
indeed.
the Z28s. You know, those were 5 liters too. So it was like the era of the 5 liter cars. You know,
Yeah.
and everybody in school had a Camaro or a Fox body or stuff like that. So if or if they had an older brother, then they had the classic Mustangs. You know,
Right on.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Right
I was
on.
born in the middle of both.
yeah,
Very late baby boomer. Last year baby boomer, and the beginning of Gen. What was it? X.
I wish I had the money to get a classic car in my younger days when they were affordable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, these Fox bodies there's a lot of aftermarket support, so that's kind of cool. They're
Yeah.
easy to work on, really. Once you
Somewhat.
once you yeah
Hey, there's a
yeah
lot of
maybe
similarity. I've taken apart things on the 70 and things on the Fox, and I was like, that's pretty much
yeah
identical,
that's
I can
cool.
dig it.
My
especially the
my
heater
dad
box.
my dad had his 69 Mach 1, and luckily, I didn't tell you guys this, but when my dad had his Mach 1, when he sold it to one of my older cousins, so it's actually still in the family.
Good. That's
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
So yeah, um,
So
I
there's
haven't seen it.
still a chance it could be
I haven't
yours.
seen it in a long time. Yeah, but anyway,
There's
so
still
that's
a
kind of cool that
chance.
it's still around. It's still in the Marisi family. So
Good deal. But
I like
it
that
might
much.
come
But
full circle back to you, John. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. That'd be awesome if it did. Trust me, it would be awesome
yeah.
if it did. But no, these are kind of cool. That if you can work on small block Fords or a small block Chevy is very similar as far as the
Right.
nut and bolts of it. And then if you if you go carburetor and you lose all that wiring and stuff too, that really makes it easier. And putting a K member in it gives you so much space. It's really not that difficult to work on,
True.
So I'm luckily in that aspect because I have to do a lot of the work myself here. So at least it's fairly easy, you know. And watching everybody's channels and learning, like how to take the dash out from your channel, James. And
Yeah.
that's something I might want to do somewhere down the line. You know,
Yeah, you might learn what not to do by watching my channel because man,
well,
I don't know.
we all do that, man.
What's that?
We all do that. We all
Oh yeah.
we
Those
all
are the best
figure out.
videos, man. Well, people
Yep,
don't cover up the mistakes
Yeah.
because you can
those
see
are good.
what happens, and you can see how frustrating it is.
Yeah, I believe
So
in just showing it all, just show it all.
no, that's
Why
awesome,
not?
man. And I've learned so much. I've learned so much from YouTube as far as like fixing my washer and dryer and my
Oh yeah.
dishwasher and
Yep.
all kinds of stuff. That you.
Building a
So
garage.
I'm very
Everything's on
very
there.
thankful for you. YouTube has saved me a lot of money over the years.
Yeah, it looks like Lewis has a question for you. It says, How long did it
Okay.
take you to surpass the amount you purchased the car with the dollar value of the mods you made? So when did it swap ends?
Oh, it's probably day one.
Day one?
That's easy to do,
Ah,
man. That is easy to do.
yeah,
It's
no
I mean,
doubt.
I look at it as a hobby. It's a hobby, not an investment.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I just I could be I could have worse hobbies, I guess. You know what I mean? To
Oh
spend my
yeah,
money on.
for sure.
So again, like I said, I've got like 3 of everything for a 8.2 deck Ford. So I've spent my money. I could have rebuilt this engine 3 times over. You know what I mean?
That's a
Yeah.
good investment because things
But I
are
mean,
only
just
getting
trying
more
different
expensive.
things, Just trying different things,
Yeah, Jesse says that he goes, I'm an
Yodi
EFI
power.
guy too. He said, but I'm also gone Yodi power. So
Oh yeah, dude, Coyote's not a bad choice at all, man. I mean,
no,
it's kind of a buy once, cry once kind of thing, Just
that's
drop a
true.
Coyote in it, and you're going fast,
That's true. That's true.
You're not messing
Yeah, with
around
no
with.
boost at all, you're still going fast. So
Yeah. Do you guys ever watch any of those Coyote stock class racing? Those guys go like 9 seconds with a stock Coyote,
Yep.
with a
that's
stick shift.
insane.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
sealed
insane.
engines, they don't change the camera. The only thing I think you can change is like the air intake. You
Wow.
can't change the cams. You can't, you can do headers and the air intake. You can play with the exhaust and the air intake. Everything else is sealed. And those
Oh
guys,
wow.
you can't change the tune or anything. You have to use the factory tune. And those guys run like 9 seconds, pulling wheelies and everything. It's pretty cool. So Coyote's not a bad choice at all. Just
No, not at
it's
all.
a buy once, try once kind of thing,
Yeah, Jesse says that he likes him because it screams. And yeah,
Yeah, they do
they
have a
do
different
scream.
sound, don't they?
Oh, all together. Yep.
That's the
But,
way I like
I mean,
my women.
Whoa.
You know me,
Oh,
I gotta put something in there.
that's all good. Throw it in there.
Comic.
Yeah, I guess that's a push rod versus the overhead cam kind of sound,
I
Yeah.
like the sound of the push rod better, but it's not gonna rev like a Coyote,
Well, no.
There's no push rods. That thing would be gonna hold up the upstairs all day long.
That's one. The one the engines that sound really good are actually the 4.6 modular. The 2 valve and 3 valves.
Yep.
Those things sound really good, man, when they're hopped up.
Yeah. Yeah, I know for
I had
me
a
it's
three
that
valve
classic
once.
classic, Fox body sound that I grew up with, I
Yeah.
just love that sound. So
I said that,
it's a
when
sound
we're
that
talking
stuck with me.
those alphabet cams have a good idle sound, They're like
Yep.
the B cam and the B and E cam, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
So
No, you match that with like the Flowmaster mufflers or Mac
right,
muffler,
yeah,
and
that's the classic. That's the
know,
'90s Fox body, that choppiness,
yep,
that little choppy
yep,
idle.
yeah, and that hollow sound,
Yeah.
I love that.
My car's never really had that kind of chop to it, but I've never had Flowmasters. I've always
Okay,
I had the stock mufflers, and then I've done the kind of the straight through, the MagnaFlow knockoffs from eBay.
yeah,
So they have a different sound. And then now I actually have super turbo mufflers on this, so that I've been
super
running from
turbo, huh?
Dynamax. Yeah, the Dynamax. They I wanted the best performance with the quietest sound for driving on the street. They knock like 10 decibels out of the noise level. So, and it hasn't really hurt my track time, so I can't
Okay,
complain. Yeah.
cool.
But I do have 3-inch. I have 3-inch exhaust all the way back to the mufflers, and then next down to 2.5 at the muffler. So I think that helps a lot too, having a 3-inch X pipe.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then if you
So
neck it down, the further back you neck it down, I think the less it's going to hurt the performance.
right. So is this like your first Fox body or?
Yeah, first
Okay,
performance car I've ever had, really. So
okay,
again, I was just short on funds for just getting by, and most of my life until I was able to afford this and went down
yeah.
that rabbit hole.
And it is a rabbit hole, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I still haven't found the
So,
bottom yet.
yeah.
You're
Well,
not going to.
neither have I. Neither have I.
Rick says we're not gonna find it either.
I don't think
Nope.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
don't
looking
think
for
so.
a good turnaround point right now. So
Well, I think when you get yours back together with the 363 and you're going to have your Vortec on it, you're going to have your hands full.
You're
Yeah.
gonna need a cage.
You're going to have your
Probably.
hands full.
If you want to
Yeah.
really utilize that engine, you need
Well,
need
my
to
my
tap
plan
in.
is just to stay NA for a while. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I'll have to
I
purchase
got you.
a different supercharger. You know, because I actually
Yeah.
sold the other one. So
Oh, you did? What
yeah,
Vortec was on your car when I saw it? Was it a V1 or?
no, it was the SC3I or something like that. Yeah,
Oh, okay, V3,
yeah, the
V3
V3.
SCI.
Yep,
Okay.
SCI. So it it,
Oh yeah,
it, it averaged right around 8 pounds of boost. So it was pretty good.
yeah. No,
You know,
they
so
make power.
I sold it. As
Uh huh.
a down payment for this 363. Right.
There you
So
go. Well, like I said, I think that's a good investment that you made there with spending your money with Jim at Ford Strokers.
yeah,
He's gonna make you a nice short block there. So you
yeah. I
won't have to
know.
mess with it. You know what I mean?
I think
It'll
it
be
was
built right.
I think it was Kenneth Sean was at Motor City. He just posted a video, and on his video, he actually showed a car that the guy had a 363
Okay.
stroker in there that was built by Ford Strokers.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. I get kind of a preview of what it's going to look like, you know?
Hmm.
So that was neat.
Well, but, you can customize it however you want. With
That's
just
true.
email, and I think they have when you order it, there's some drop down boxes to pick what pistons you want, all
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. But you can
Yeah,
email his wife Nicole.
I told him that I wanted to be somewhere between 11 and a half to slightly over 12 compression. So we'll see.
There you go.
So
Oh yeah, they'll take care of you, man.
yeah,
You have to have that good fuel, baby.
that's it. That's it.
It's
Hey
cheaper
man.
here. You come fly down here and get some.
Hey man, I will.
bring some jugs.
Yep.
$12
Hey,
a gallon for 110 octane.
James, do you have a E85 up there in Portland?
At one gas station in Portland. One.
Oh, okay.
And
How
outside
far is
of
it
that,
from you?
um, I would say probably like 10 miles, 15 miles away.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not bad.
I mean,
And then
that's your cheap race gas right there, man.
There you go.
E85.
exactly. I know they
I
sell race gas here, but it's like you can
Oh
get
my
it in
gosh.
like a 5 gallon pail,
Yeah,
right? But that 5 gallon pail costs you $120 here.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
$120.
$25 a
60.
gallon. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's what this boss build, I'll probably switch to E85 on that, and it'll be a different carburetor, and I'll probably have to upgrade my I got dash 6 lines running from the tank. I'll probably
Yep.
upgrade those to dash 8 or 10, a little bit. I think that's probably all I have to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be,
You
and
know that
I got a
E85 will eat up your fuel lines too. So
yeah, I can, I have a shut off valve. That's what I see. I'll get the ethanol safe fuel lines. The
okay.
PTFE lines you have to run.
Yeah.
So you
Right.
run the PTFE lines. I'll upgrade a little bigger size, or maybe at least bigger on the return. And then I have a shutoff valve in my engine compartment, so I can run the carburetor dry, idling. And that
Okay,
way
that's
I can,
cool.
yeah, I put it in line from the regulator. I put a shutoff valve, a little shutoff valve type thing, right after the regulator, so I can shut it off and then just idle the car. It'll run the fuel out of the bowls for storage.
Okay. Nice. I
So
like
But
that
like
idea.
top fuel, they'll have the nitro turned off, run on alcohol. They get on the track and they
right.
hit a valve, and here comes the nitro.
And you can
You
tell
ever,
when it
you guys
kicks
ever
in
watch any of
too.
those videos with the when they switch from like gas? They'll do the they start up the dragsters on like
Yep.
the squirt bottle and run it on gas till it warms up a little bit, and then they switch it over to the nitro. How it sounds
They
Oh,
got
gives
dude,
that kind of
it's like
that
they're
cackle
nitrogen.
called
sound.
Yep.
Cackle Fest.
Yeah,
Is what they
that's
call those
awesome,
videos.
dude. That's
Yeah,
super
man.
cool.
It is cool.
I don't even know where you'd get my nitromethane. It's something probably nothing we want to store in our garages anyway.
Yeah,
I'm
probably
sure it's
not.
quite expensive.
So,
Yeah.
what are you guys
So
working on, Rick? What are you working on? Anything?
Well, it's too hot to do much, but I have been working on
Yeah.
the Fox. The battery's in the trunk, and got the tray from K Designs that moves it to the
Right.
left side where it can hide behind a panel. So that's
Okay.
where I'm at right now with it.
Nice.
Waiting
Okay.
for the battery mount. Should be here tomorrow, the next day, and I got to get a circuit breaker.
Okay.
And then eventually shut off switch. I'll put that on later. Don't need it on the street. I mean, it's nice to have, but I like to take it down my local track a few times just for the video. Have a little fun with it.
I've got my battery in the back, and I do have I've got a fuse breaker in the back, and then off of the alternator, I've got one of the high amp fuses in the front too. So
Okay, yeah, I've got one in the front.
Yeah,
I
think it's good to have one on each end.
I've got the 3G kit, and it came with it.
Cool.
But the feed going all the way to the trunk, the 1-aught, welding cable has nothing, and
Right.
So like a lot of people, we got 300 amp on your breaker. How many amps you running on it?
The one in my trunk, I think, is a 250.
250, okay.
I think so. I can look real quick and let you know, but you're on the right track.
Yeah, no biggie. Yeah, I've heard both work. I just was curious.
And I don't run a super high amp alternator. I think my alternator is like 115 amps.
That's what I did. I don't have the big one.
Master. I don't have anything like a 300 amp or anything like that. So I just try to cover what the voltage is when you click the trigger and the draw from the starter. Whatever that draw is, I try to cover that.
Okay, cool. So then,
anyway,
so I know your dad's listening and all, but do you have any crazy race stories that you can tell us to keep yourself, to let us know?
I mean, I used to break a lot of stuff at the track, man. I have broken a lot of stuff at the track.
Yeah.
Nothing really crazy. Again, back when Sacramento Raceway was open, I broke one rocker arm stud once. So I had to get towed home from the track from that. And then what else? Something else happened where I was losing oil pressure. So, but luckily that was all at Sacramento Raceway. That was close.
Okay.
My Ford F-150 has messed up at the track where the shift linkage, it wouldn't go into gear. So it was just a little plastic bushing that was messed up, So I had to I spent half the day underneath the tow truck, my tow vehicle, fixing that instead of racing. That kind of stuff.
Dude. Oh man. That's no fun.
But I tell you, I have it's awesome when you can drive your car to the track, but it's also a really good feeling to know that if you got a truck and a trailer that you can get home, So
yeah,
I was for a long time I was real nervous at the track not having a tow vehicle or a trailer, and that kind of relieved that relieved a lot of stress for me getting when I was able to get the trailer, and knowing that even if my car throws a rod or whatever it does, whatever breaks, I can get it home. So
that beats sitting there all night waiting on somebody.
That's true.
I mean, a lot of people want to say, oh, well, you don't drive your car to the track, it's not a street car, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to play that game, or chase that or whatever. I'd rather make sure I can get home, particularly now that we go racing. The closest track is over an hour away now, and they only race 4 times a year. And then after that, we have to go like 3.5 hours, which is where we go down to Mendoza, almost down to Fresno.
That's crazy.
In California.
Wow.
So, having a truck and a trailer is definitely, a load off my mind.
Right.
When that is concerned. But again, even going down there, we've had issues with the truck going down there. I had the fuel injector go out on my F-150, and we had to limp it all the way home from halfway to Fresno.
Oh, geez.
My son and I. So we didn't even get to go racing that day. We went halfway down, and then we had to my son jumped on Google Maps and found back roads all the way home because we limped it home on 6 cylinders.
Yeah.
So in a car, So the one thing like this Ford F-150, like if you have a bad cylinder, it will deactivate the other. It seems like it deactivates the other cylinder. That's the companion cylinder to it, so you don't mess anything up. So
is that the direct injection does that?
No, it's a 2004 F-150. It's the
Oh, okay,
5.4
gotcha.
Triton, but it
Yeah.
had one
Okay.
bad injector. But I think it disables the opposite cylinder also, so you don't mess up
Yeah.
the catalytic converters or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
but
Plus, it
anyway,
don't mess the balance up. Engine
yeah.
balance.
So we limped it home, like over 100 miles on back roads. My son and I,
That-
and then
Nothing like being in limp mode, man. That sucks.
That's a long
oh
night.
man. So we've had everything happen at the track, man. I had here a funny one. Here's one at Sacramento Raceway on like a streetcar night or Wednesday night. They used to have drive-on scales where you could weigh your car. So, but it was the skinny, the drive-on lift kind of ramps, the little metal ramps that are like this wide, or whatever. You drive on.
Yeah.
They had that, and I couldn't see. One of my front wheels went off.
Oh no.
Damn.
So my car was like on 3 wheels and I drove my car there, so I didn't have any tools. So I had to run around the pits and try to get help. And oh my gosh, talking about looking like a fool and being a total newbie, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude.
It doesn't
But
help your
luckily,
nerves.
there was guys there that were totally cool and let me borrow the jack from me, let me borrow a jack and all that kind of stuff. And I got it teetered back up onto the ramp, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
So basically anything that can go wrong has go wrong, for me.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's how you
great
learn,
story.
man,
Yep.
That's how
that's a
you
good
learn.
story. That's just a rookie mistake right there, So
Yeah, man.
it's all
In
good.
skinny front tires, so you only got when you got the skinnies on the front, it's
Yeah.
very easy to have it slip off,
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't take much.
So anyway,
So
that happened to me. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but it did.
so Mark has a question for you, a couple actually.
Okay.
He says, Donald, do you have a manual steering rack? And if so, do you run a reverse rotation water pump from a Crown Vic?
Yeah, I did do manual steering. Again, with the skinny front tires, the manual steering is no problem. When I still have my 10 holes, my stock 10 holes.
Okay.
So whenever I put those back on and drive around the streets, it's a little more difficult, but it's not unmanageable for a man. Maybe for a woman it might be hard to turn. But
yeah.
So manual steering, I don't have a problem with manual steering. I kind of like the direct feel.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
what was part 2? Was it reverse rotation water pump?
Yeah.
Oh, I run electric water pumps, so they're standard. Whatever rotation that runs,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure standard.
And so, what was your reasoning behind that switch to a electric water pump? Yeah.
Just to free up some power, cleaner look. I haven't had issue with them, honestly. Really haven't had issue. No,
nothing at all.
I take that back. I had the first one I bought was a Proform, a cheap one. The first Proform one went out, but that one still lasted till like 2 years. And then the one I have in there now is a Mr. Gasket. It's part of the Holly Group. It's from Holly. That one has been in there like 4 or 5 years, no issues.
Oh, okay.
So the only problem I have with the electric water pumps is how they mount. The bolts are kind of hard to get, or the bolts are hard to get to. But
yeah,
as far as one burning out on me, I don't have an issue, and they're like $120.
Yeah.
But I have 3. I told you I have 3 of everything, right? So I have 2 or 3 regular water pumps if I need them.
So you just swap it out and go, right? So
I've got underdrive pulleys, all that kind of stuff. So I got like 3 of everything on these shelves over here.
And so just to confirm, you do everything there in your garage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have a lift.
Cool.
I do have jack stands. I mean, I just put it on jack stands and do what I got to do.
Exactly.
Same as you. You don't have a lift in your shop.
Nope, just jack
I've been to
stands
your
and
shop.
that's it. Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the other day.
We're doing the same thing, man. We're doing the same. You put it up on jack stands and get your shirts dirty sliding around on the ground,
and have a hard time getting up, that's about it.
Yeah. True.
True. So are you able to like pick up your camera and show us around your car and your motors?
I can try. Yeah, I can try.
Okay.
I just got it on the
Hey, I
holder.
got a question real quick before you do that.
Sure.
Hold on.
Is your wife watching this?
No, she's in the house. I'm in the garage.
Okay, because you said you have 3 of everything. Everything.
Oh my
I couldn't
God.
afford that.
That's
I can't afford 3 of those.
Yeah, I hear that. I only need one. That's it, just one.
But yeah, if you guys want to look around, I'll try to. It's nothing fancy, trust me. It's probably dirtier than most people's garages. But
yeah, if you could show us the car, and
that means work is happening.
Exactly.
So here's my 349. You want me to turn some lights on?
No, you're good.
I can see it. Full screen him if you can.
I thought I did.
It's not. Well, I'm probably maybe delayed. I don't know. I'm on the StreamYard.
So for those who are watching, is that full screen for you?
It is for me.
Go ahead.
It is. It is on YouTube.
So yeah, I do electric water pump. Electric fans. These are the contour fans that are popular.
Okay.
349. These are my big dog supported trick flow heads. Trick flow bar, single plane intake, Harley 750. Just pretty basic build, really. But I kind of went. There's a couple kind of recipes online for like a 500 horse 347. That's kind of what I went with. So, yeah, then just the kind of the part stash.
Yeah, the 3 of everything.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Yeah, I got regular water pumps. But I mean, mufflers, catted X pipe for shorty headers, all that stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of a small.
You have a roll cage, right?
Yeah, I have the 6-point in
Yeah, I think your hand's covering the mic. There you go. Hey, can you show us the 289?
So here's this is the 289 block. I haven't even started this yet, but
beautiful.
Cool.
Ported. This is just a hand ported, Vic Junior knockoff.
Okay.
Stainless steel roller rockers. Lunati. I did change the springs from the Promax heads. Those are Lunati springs.
Nice rockers.
Set up with two steel containers. So,
yeah, that's a beautiful motor. Hey, your sound is actually cutting out, Donald.
I thought that was my.
We kind of lost. I think we lost his voice.
Maybe said.
Anything? Got anything?
Yeah, that's better now. There, you're good.
So yeah, this one has dome pistons in it too. For this is 12.5-to-1. This 333, the one I showed you, the 289 block. So that should basically with the smaller cubic inches, I kind of wanted to go up a little bit in compression to kind of hopefully maintain the keep the horsepower there. And again, I got a local E85 station, so I'll probably just run this on E85. So
nice.
We'll see what happens. It was just an experiment and a lot of extra parts I had.
Okay. Cool.
That's what I was telling James, because he's got extra parts in the factory block. I just put everything in it, bag and tag the block, and you never know what the future holds. Might get another car or whatever,
That's true.
And I mean, for racing, it's always good to have a backup. If I get hurt with something at the track, I can swap it out real quick, and I don't miss a race day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
You don't have to rush on
just,
your engine either.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about being in like a machine shop prison and all that kind of stuff.
Machine shop prison.
With
oh man.
It took a year to get mine back. 1 year.
I've already reached out to the guy that's going to machine my block and everything, and set up my short block basically, and just to make sure, like, what's the timeline? Like if I bring stuff to you, are we good to go? Or, I mean, I'm not in a huge rush, but I just want to know what I'm getting into. I don't want a year and a half wait. So he's like, no, bring it on by. So anyway, so I'm
some
good
people
on that.
Got to work their budget towards, to have the lump sum at a certain time.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, this guy has done enough. This guy trusts me. I've done enough business with him that he doesn't even want a deposit up front from me.
That's
so
cool.
That's good. But I'll give him some money up front because I mean I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna have him buy the bearings and all that kind of stuff for it. So that way he can set the clearances and everything for me, and own the block and set the deck height and all that kind of stuff. So because it's a brand new block, it needs some machine work done to it. Make sure the lifter bores are correct, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But so I'll have him purchase the bearings and just have it all set up, and I'll just bring it home and put it together.
Nice.
But anyway, luckily I do have a good shop around here that has done good work for me in the past. So
yeah, that's one of the things that I like about Ford Strokers is that you don't have to pay them in like one lump sum. They'll take.
That's cool. Yeah, Jim does a layaway kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So I know that's helped me, because I just don't have like 10 grand, that's I'm laying around, right? So
you're in good hands. But I mean, just make a down payment. You get on the list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and he's working on your build while you're making payments, and hopefully it all comes out, good to go at the end. Your motor's ready when you make your last payment.
Exactly.
But I know Jim has had a year-long wait list in the past for sure at Ford Strokers. So
yeah,
that's kind of cool that he will let you do a layaway, and at least you're on the list.
Yeah.
Working on your stuff.
Between
he does
that,
good work. I mean,
yeah.
If he wasn't busy, I'd be worried, man. But
exactly.
He's busy, so that means he does good work. So
yeah, I know he corresponds well too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, either him or his wife Nicole will get back to you real quick.
Yep.
Usually
Always
the next day, if not the same day.
Yeah, exactly. No, they're very nice people.
Yeah. Like I said, I try to order all my stuff from him. I got my rods and my pistons from him. I tried to order the crank, but they were out of stock. So I actually bought the crank, and then they had to refund me because they didn't have an ETA when it was coming in. So I had to go elsewhere, and FedEx didn't do a good job shipping this crank. So it doesn't look like it's damaged or anything, but
they never do, man.
Just not happy with that kind of service. And how can a crank, a 50-pound crank, that's, if you guys have ordered cranks, they come in a box with the styrofoam and they're all pretty well tightly packed. Like, how does that come out of the box?
Yeah, because somebody's throwing it around.
You get a plain brown box with like barely any packing in it. Like somebody packed that in a box thinking like, oh, this is fine for a 50-pound crank. It's, I don't get it.
The drivers, I mean, I ordered LMR pony paint. I did a video years ago. Anyway, I guess he slammed it on the back. There was other parts in there too. One of the cans exploded. And still today, on my blacktop is a trail of silver paint all the way to my porch, which is still there. And how does he go back to the truck and not see that? Because they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah.
Nobody cares anymore about any pride in their work. I don't want to say nobody, but things are different.
But I've never had issue with any shipping from Summit Racing, and I never had issue with all the parts I bought from Ford Strokers. So I had to step out to a different supplier for this crank, and this is what shows up. So
yeah, I've never really had like too much trouble with UPS either. my main issues come with like FedEx. You know, they've actually delivered some of my parts to like somebody's house around the block. You know,
Right.
and I'm like, it's a totally different address, bro. I mean, come on, really, right? but they've done it, you know, and then claimed I signed for it. So
Right.
and it's like, yeah, right.
Where's the accountability, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, you know, this wasn't a website where I got like free shipping. You know, I paid like $70 to have that crank thrown out of its original box, repacked, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I paid $70 for them to like abuse it. You know,
exactly,
like,
and just
come
throw
on,
it
man.
around like it meant nothing. Yeah,
And the person I bought the crank from their website, they're just the middleman. You know, they just placed the order. You know, they didn't physically ship it, so I'm not going to throw them under the bus.
yeah,
But
exactly.
but at the same time, I reached out to him, let them know, and sent like tons of pictures. Like, hey, this is how FedEx ships a crankshaft. You know, like, come on, you know. And he said, and my problem was, his recourse was, well, if it's not damaged, I really don't have a case. You know, and I'm like, that's not the point, man. I mean, you should run it up the flagpole at least. You know, and let the person that you bought the crank from, you know, that drop shipped it, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
Let them know.
exactly. Yeah, let them know something, right?
Yeah, so I kind of felt a little out in the cold on that one. So I'll just choose to do my business elsewhere. You know?
Yeah, no
Nothing
doubt.
against that guy. Nothing against that guy, but you know, I'm just, at least with Summit, I feel like I got some recourse. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
But anyway,
for sure.
as long as the crank's not broken, that's the main thing. It just pisses me off that you pay good money to have you pay for all this shipping, and they treat it like that. You know, like,
Exactly.
give me my shipping back or something. You know.
Yeah, exactly, man. I agree. Well, Mark says that he says he just had a bear block shipped from Kansas to Canada. He goes, I know all about expensive shipping. Yeah, no
Mm-hmm.
doubt. You know, going through customs and whatnot, dude, that's got
Yeah.
to be highly expensive.
Well, I got
Man.
this Boss block from this was from Summit, the Boss block. They had, I
Uh-huh.
guess they had a sale on them. It was like $2,200 brand new. You know that,
Really?
and darts. I don't even know if dart blocks are back in stock yet. I have no idea.
I don't
So
know either.
I would have got
Yeah.
a dart block if they were in stock, but they weren't. So I got the Ford Performance, and I I just like that as a Ford product. You know.
Yeah.
So,
I can dig it.
but it was like $300 off and free shipping, and it arrived. This actually arrived in its own little pallet inside of
Really?
inside of a plastic. It sits on like a plastic injection molded kind of plastic case on the top and the bottom, and it had its own little like tie straps on it.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, it was awesome, you know.
So it sounded like it
They did a good
well
job.
packaged.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I bought a Blueprint short block from Summit in the past, and that showed up. That did show up on freight. Like the guy pulled up with a lift gate on the back of the truck, you know, so he wheeled it off with a pallet jack, and that was fine.
Right.
Obviously, you know, that was on a pallet. They dropped it off right in my driveway. So that was
Okay.
from Summit, a Blueprint block, or a Blueprint short block.
Okay.
So anyway,
All right. So if you had a blank check, so to speak, what would be your ideal build for your car?
oh man, for my car,
Yeah.
if I had a blank check, I'd probably start with another car.
That's a good answer,
But
man.
anyway, I mean, you know, I think there's obviously, you know, you can make these Fox bodies super fast. I mean, but
Yeah, it doesn't take much, does it?
but I probably, with a blank check, I would probably do something more like what you're doing, is like a higher horsepower, but more, probably make mine more streetable, you know, like boost with a small cam, you know, so it cruises around nice, but have boost
Okay.
on tap, you know.
Okay.
And then I probably would try to avoid, well, I would probably get a custom made roll cage that fits better, you know, like,
Right.
so basically, so the roll cage is like not in the way at all. That was
Okay.
probably be where I'd spend the money, you know. But I think a smaller, like street friendly cam with boost and a custom fitted. If I was still going to drag race it,
Right.
I'd probably do like more of a nicer high end, not high end, but you know what I mean. I mean, I don't know if it's a blank check. I guess it would be high end.
Might as well. Blank check.
Yeah. But maybe like some kind of really cool drag and drive setup type of thing.
Okay. Wow.
And so the thing was kind of what happens with these. What I see like with the Fox body, or at least what happened with me, is you get to the when you're on a small budget, then you kind of go for the weight savings, and then when weight savings, you're starting to cut things up, and that's where you're trying to make more power to weight ratio, and then that kind of paints you into a corner where the car's like not as fun to drive.
Yeah, I agree.
So
it kind of pigeonholes you in
a way, yeah. And it's when you're on limited horsepower and you want to go faster, cutting weight is the easiest thing to do, but it's at the sacrifice of drivability. When you're taking out all your sound deadening and cutting things out of the car and all that kind of stuff, then you're kind of going down that rattle can kind of hole, where the car rattles around and it's loud, so that's probably one thing I would probably do different.
Right.
If I was to start over with another build.
Okay.
What you're doing,
Yeah. Me?
More of your car's more street friendly,
Yeah. I hope it's going to be. We'll see.
But, it's like the full interior and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I still have all the full interior.
It's not
except for the rear seat. So
it's not the gutted kind of thing, like where a lot of guys go down that road to go faster.
No, I'll never do that to my car. No.
But it's probably it's smart. It's probably smart to add 50 or 100 horsepower than it is to cut the car up.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I do. 100%.
So that's kind of one thing I wish I had done a little bit differently. I was just live and learn.
So what about superchargers? Do you like, say, Vortec versus Kenny Bell?
I heard Kenny Bell was back in business, or they were making some new stuff. I haven't seen it yet.
As a matter of fact,
Vortec or Paxton, Paxton Novi 2000.
Paxton.
That's a good charger, or a pro charger. Any of that kind of stuff would be fine. I mean, that's kind of the avenue I think I'm going to go down. When I get to that point. But I'll probably try to do a blow through. Or maybe put like
blow through,
obviously, or I would do maybe switch to a Holly Sniper. With a fuel injected throttle body type of thing.
That's always good too.
So
I know
it's kind of what's in the back burner, and then the eventual plans, Yeah,
the last time I checked, Anderson Ford Motorsports actually sells the Kenny Bell superchargers, and they actually sell it with the Cobra lower intake as well.
Okay.
So it comes as like a little package deal.
Right.
So, but they're not cheap. So
I like those, they're cool. They're cool looking,
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely got a kind of 90s retro kind of thing, I don't know. Have they upped the capacity on those with the new ones? Like made them for like stroker kits, and you know what I mean? Like
that
in the past, the Kenny Bells were more suited for like a 302 type build. And they kind of ran out of air doing bigger cubic inches.
That's true. Yeah.
So
I'm not sure if they
modified so many options. You can go all the way up to the YSI, and they probably have stuff even bigger than that. But
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. Or Pro Charger has some huge superchargers. I haven't, I mean, some people like those Torque Storms. I don't know much about those, but
I don't know much about them.
Yeah, but I know they're a little more affordable option.
Yeah, 100%. So how about you?
I'd like to do like a Vortex sometime. Maybe a blow through, but like on top of a Holly Sniper or Super Sniper, I guess is the one they do for boost. something like that. That way, I would like the tunability with boost, and make sure you got some boost cuts and some protections. Blow through would be kind of pushing the edge. I don't think I'd be comfortable tuning that myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do. I've heard some crazy things about the blow through setups, man. So,
yeah,
I mean, they create a lot of power, I guess, too. So,
yeah, and you don't necessarily have to use the good thing with the blow through setup is you don't necessarily need to use you're not needing an intercooler as quickly, because
that's true.
the fuel is cooling it.
Right.
But getting it tuned, I would probably need some help tuning it. You know what I mean? I probably have to pay somebody to put it on a dyno and make sure it's tuned correctly. If I did do a blow
so that's extra cost, right? So.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, look, there's Bella.
Yeah, she's pretty impatient because I was gone before I got here.
So what do you think?
Too hot to do anything.
So what do you think, Rick? Root style supercharger or centrifugal? Well, easy for me to say. Centrifugal. Yeah,
Root. It depends on what's going on and what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
I don't have much experience with either one, but I know root style. I'd say for like something's on a dragster or something. I know they make smaller ones, but I really don't know. If I was going to do my car, I'd get a centrifugal one. Yeah, Paxton or whatever.
I'm not the only one having trouble saying it.
One thing, the roots is not going to fit under your hood, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, I know that the root style blowers, I think, have a lot of low end torque, right?
They do. Yep. You're correct.
I mean, like a whole lot of it, but whereas like the Vortex and whatnot, that's more like your higher RPM. So it kind of ramps up, right? So,
which I think is good I think that Vortex are good for the street. I mean, because you won't blow the tires off so easy. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, because the power builds.
Exactly. The power and the
instead of being there all at once,
Exactly. Yeah. So they each have their place. I mean, the roots look very cool, man. It'd be cool to have a big old blower sticking out of the hood, but then you're like, then you're worried about the rain and everything else, with everything exposed. So I like the Vortex because you can fit them under the hood. So
I think that each one has its own unique sound too, so which is cool, which is very cool. I mean, I kind of miss the Vortex whistle or whine, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just kind of like a whistle per se, I think the root blower's whine.
Like the Cobra 4-valve motor, doesn't it come? That's a root style, right? But smaller.
Yeah, the Kenny Bells are smaller. That's a root style,
Right.
Oh, like the Terminator.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Lewis, for sure, man.
That's a common thing in Fox bodies. They all have I know someone I know has got a 2-inch cow. It's all up under there. Pretty good.
Oh, cool.
So.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a guy that's making like adapters where you can put like any supercharger on any engine. So
wow.
He's making like these billet adapters to fit on like a GT40 lower, and then they adapt it to like all the the Eaton superchargers or anything like OEM that you can get in the junkyard, and he can make it work on any engine, with these adapter plates.
Buick V6 ones are pretty plentiful.
Yeah.
For Oldsmobile and Buick.
The small Eatons.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a little toy. I mean, you're not going to be a race car, but.
Yeah, I don't know what that would do. I think Richard Holdner was messing around with those small superchargers on the LSs and stuff. I don't know if they make a lot of extra power, but just it can be done, obviously, so that's kind of cool. And if you got the setup, then of course you can upgrade in the future,
Yeah, that would definitely apply to a small motor, not a stroker or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Now I saw, speaking of carbureted, I saw on Brutal's channel that he's messing around with some kind of setup that goes underneath your carburetor, you know,
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah,
a
I saw
plate.
that. Yeah.
It
Hmm.
has a plate that has like a one single fuel injector, right? So when
Right,
you're running lean, the computer will kick on that fuel injector and even you out, you know.
right. Good
So
idea.
that's kind of a
It's a
cool
good
setup,
idea.
you know, for carbureted guys. That'd be really cool.
Do you guys watch or subscribe to Thunderhead 289?
Yes.
His name's
Yeah,
Luke.
I do. Mm-hmm.
So he's gone something like that also, but it's called the carb cheater. And he does
Oh,
it instead of injecting gas, his does it with air. So
with
Yep.
air?
instead of leaning out your carburetor, you know, his you would want it, you know, his actually adds like a kind of like an IAC or like a map sensor or something underneath it, where add air to keep everything stable.
Okay.
So it's a little two different ways to do it. You know, his adds air, and then the one the Brutal does is adds fuel. So
Huh. Interesting.
two different concepts on the same idea. You know, supplementing the carb,
Two different carb setups
lean in the
too.
rich spots. You know, so
Well, it sounds like they both work, you know, so
yeah, carb cheater's been out for a few years. I was considering getting one. He recommends you use it just as a tuning aid, like to find the spots where you need to adjust your carburetor, not really rely on it. But
uh-huh.
and his data logs and all that kind of stuff, so you can see where the lean spots are or the rich spots where you want to adjust the tuning.
Okay.
So I don't know if it'd be real helpful for me for, like, you know, in a drag racing scenario, but for street driving, I can see where it would
Yeah.
definitely, you know, even things out, like in your part throttle transitions and all that kind of stuff. You know, like where the power valve kicks in and not and doesn't, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So and be honest with you, that I think when I priced out the carb cheater, it's like $400, and I think the system Brutal is talking about, which his does control. I think his does controls timing too. The one he's with the
To a
fuel
certain
injector.
degree, I thought. Yeah.
I think so, yeah. But that's more like Holly Terminator price range, you know, or
Yeah.
whatever. You
It's
know,
up
that's
there.
like it's over
It's over a
$1,000.
grand. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Donald, I've got a question for you.
of course,
Sorry if I cut you short.
no, you're good.
Our new clutch pedal setup, the knob where you can adjust all the adjustment stuff, that is very interesting.
The tamer.
So that's been around. It's called the Clutch Tamer. There's a couple of them out there. The one I have is the least expensive. I always go for the budget option, man. You know, so.
Yeah, right.
But there's one. Do you guys follow like Miss Midnight Maverick or like Tony,
Yeah.
you know, Politano and all that? They use a more expensive version of this. It's a little different. Basically, the version they have has a solenoid where it only works on the launch, and then it doesn't affect each time you shift the gears.
Gotcha.
Mine, the one I have, is less expensive. It's completely analog. You know, you just adjust. You got those two dials, and it adjusts basically how fast. It's got like a shock absorber on it, or like a little compressed thing, a little shock. When you let out the clutch, it comes up to, you set it to where it'll grab, right? And that you can adjust that point, and then you can adjust how fast it releases the rest of the way.
So the pedal don't just fly up if you step off of it.
No,
right?
It flies up to wherever you set at the initial hit. You know, like
right.
When you dump the clutch, it'll fly up to wherever you hit it, and then it slowly releases from there. And that basically keeps your engine from bogging down. It keeps you from breaking parts. You know, and that's basically what I got it was when I got it because when I was pushing the limits of a T5, I wanted something to, you know, soak up some horsepower, or, you know, so I wouldn't like blow up a T5 with 500 horsepower, you know.
Right.
So I got that, and I ran it for a while, and then when I switched over, I think when I got the TKX, I took it out because I was going to this dual disc clutch, the McLeod, and I think I took it out when I did that switch, but it's never 60 footed as good as it did with it in the car, so I'm putting it back in. And it's called the Clutch Tamer. The guy's name is Grant. And
was that look it up on Google or eBay?
Yeah, I can certainly send you guys the links. He's on Facebook and on Corral.
Okay.
Because
I haven't seen that before.
And he races. He actually has. I think he has an LS swapped RX-7.
Gotcha.
So he needs to tame the clutch for a short wheelbase car type of thing, you know, keep it under control.
Right.
And so he came up with this. But he has the one for the Fox body. I think it's like $180 or something. So it was
That's
worth
not
the
bad.
gamble for me. Yeah. And I don't know how
I mean,
much the other one is from Garrett Leach, the one that Tony Politano and Miss Midnight Maverick, the one they use. I don't
Leach
know how much.
Motorsport?
Pardon me?
Is that
Yeah.
Leach Motorsport guy?
Leach.
Yeah.
No.
That's
This one's a little
okay.
different.
Okay, gotcha.
Leach Motorsports, I think he closed down his shop. He actually helped me tune in my car.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
and then he did some pre-tunes for me. He saw my videos that I was struggling with like IAC stuff, so he sent me over some tunes to help me out when he was getting started. I think he closed up. I think he's starting a family and stuff, and just doesn't have time to mess with it, and didn't want to deal with customer complaints and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So
well,
I can
family
understand
first.
that.
Yeah, the world is not very friendly.
Yeah.
But this is a different. This guy's name is Garrett Leach. That does another one. That's the one Tony Politano uses on like in the Gray Mare and stuff. Guys on Street Racing Channel, with and Miss Midnight Maverick, and that one's it's a similar concept, but theirs has like an electric solenoid to where it only works on the launch, and then when you shift gears, it's just a regular clutch pedal. So whether that's better or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, Grant from Clutch Tamer says that his is actually better, but I don't know. I know
if you got a lot of power, like
his is more affordable, and that's why I went with it. And it was the best 60-foot I ever cut was using that.
Yeah, that's where the races won mostly, And if you're just spinning tires or spinning your clutch, you're just going to sit there,
For sure. Yeah, that's been really my challenge. It's not really power; it's applying the power and learning how to shift better. Problem is, I don't get enough time at the track to get better. So
what's your best time that you ran so far?
I think like a 1081, something like that.
Okay.
1080.
That's respectable, man.
Yeah, I ran 310 in January in cool air down in Lodi. We ran 3 1080s back to back, like 3 runs all day. We were running 1080s. So in the summertime, it slows down a little bit. Last time I took the car out in like May, I think, and it was like 100 degrees down towards Fresno. And it ran like the 1080s was like 129 miles an hour. And then in the heat, it runs like 127, 128, something like that.
Okay.
So it loses a little bit of mile an hour in the heat. But
we got a lot of heat lately.
If my car's consistent, and then I know it's if it's consistent run to run, and it's making decent mile an hour, then I know the engine is doing its job.
Right.
It's just my car needs a driver mod.
So have you ever thought about switching from a TKX to like a T56?
Come on, baby.
I'm not opposed to it. I don't know. I mean, just the T56 is heavier duty. I don't think I need it yet. Where my horsepower and torque is. I do have a TKO 600 also that's base plated. That's a racing transmission set up for racing. So I'm thinking of putting that back in the car. T56, and I think the T56 doesn't have a little taller first gear, so it'd be harder to get out of the hole, or you got to change the rear gear up more.
Probably. Yeah.
It seems to me like a T56 is more for highway driving or road racing, or with dual overdrives. So for drag racing, I don't need to spin the extra gears.
That's true. Let's give you. It does more work for you.
It's a heavier transmission. It is heavier duty, but you're spinning extra gear sets you don't have to. So in the 8th mile, when I run 8th mile, I don't even get out of 3rd gear. So I don't even need 4th gear in So I've got 2 extra gears I really don't need in the TKX. If you want to be as efficient as possible,
That's true.
But the TKO 600 is face plated, and I've got the receipt. I bought it used, but The guy did every single thing you could do from, what's the transmission place?
Handling?
Liberty Gears. Liberty.
Oh, Liberty Gears. Okay.
Yeah, it's got
Pretty good.
every single thing you can do, like the cryogenic treating of the gears. I mean, the tumble polishing. He did everything to this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was probably, and I paid $3,000 for it used, but it's probably, they probably put $3,000 in the faceplating and all the
I'm
services that Liberty does. You know, it's got everything.
Wow.
The gears are like a mirror. You know.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that should be pretty efficient transmission. You know. And then you can actually, the only thing they didn't do, you can have Liberty take fifth gear out of this thing and only run
really?
4 gears, so you're spinning less gears. Yeah. He did an option for that, and I'm not going to mail it in to do that because it's too heavy. If Liberty was local, I'd probably have them do that, you know?
Yeah, why not? Or you could try and do it yourself, couldn't you?
Take fifth gear out of it. I don't know what's involved. I haven't researched it, but,
yeah,
you know, they do offer that service. So you can have 4-speed, face plated, you know, just for drag racing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So
nice.
But I might put that back in there. I got like 3.5 weeks before the next race, so I've got time to swap out that trans and maybe put on the short rowdy exhaust. You know,
that'd be nice. I'm always down for that.
So. Yeah, it's my neighbors aren't though.
Wake everybody up, man.
Oh man, and my wife doesn't like it.
Oh no.
This car rattles the whole house, man.
I can only imagine. So, Lewis has a question. He says, he has a question. He said, what is the mod that you felt made the biggest difference in making your car fast?
Oh, geez. I would say, I guess it depends on the starting point. But so when I started with like the AOD and the first time I took it to the track, putting some gears in the rear end made a huge difference.
Okay.
You know, with the AOD, and then I went to sticking with the AOD, and then I put my car, the 86s with the AOD came with a 327 gear in them, and I went to a 410. So pretty significant gear change.
Okay.
And that made a big difference. You know, AODs are a dog like off the line. You know, at least mine was. Mine was terrible off the line. But so putting the gear in, and then when I put a stall converter in and a smaller, I went to like a 10-inch converter from like a 12 or 14-inch. A smaller, like 3,500 stall converter, that made a big difference. And then a shift kit. So basically upgrading the AOD and the gears made a huge difference.
Okay.
More so like when the car was stock, and then putting heads, cam, and intake on it. Okay. That kind of helped on the top end more, you know.
Yeah.
Like when I did my first like Cobra clone, you know, my 93 Cobra type setup with the GT40 heads and a small comp cam and that ported intake. That helped more on the top end than the bottom end. You know?
Okay.
So AOD, I think needs the most help on the bottom end.
I agree.
Because but I blew that AOD up 3 times. I'm paid to rebuild it a couple times, and all the money I put in the converter and valve bodies and all that kind of stuff, I'm done with it. I'm going to put a 5-speed in it, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. Yep. So are you still running 410s or?
Yep. 410s. I had the original, the track lock, you know, and then I went to, when I went to 31 spline axles, then I got the Yukon, I think they call it a Duragrip carrier. You know, like a traction lock from Yukon.
Okay.
And then that worked fine until I went to that track down in Fresno, and they were letting everybody pour glue on the track, you know, for their burnouts and stuff. And so the track, it was so grippy, it blew up the whole differential.
Oh no.
Yeah. I did the burnout, and then when I went to launch the car, it just bam. So so it wasted the gears. I think the pinion gear broke. It wasn't the differential, but when the pinion gear broke, then that went through everything and jammed everything up, and so it broke the Duragrip and the gears. So then I went to Quick Performance. They're known for rear ends, you know, rear differentials. and I got a spool from them. I went to a spool, so I don't even have went to a spool, and then I got their 410 gears, but I got this time I have polished gears in it. They polished them like so these gears are like a mirror, you know.
Oh man,
they're not black like a brand new Ford racing gear set or something.
Right.
They're polished like a mirror, and the cool thing is they're obviously supposed to run cooler. You don't really have to break them in because they've already been polished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't really have any like wear in. So basically, I put those gears in, and I could go racing the very next weekend. I didn't have to do like a 500-mile break in or anything.
That's great.
So, and that was another thing to learn, was setting up a whole rear end. You know, putting a new pinion in, and new gears and everything.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet. So
that took it's not difficult. It's just it's a lot of in and out, and getting all the shims correct and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Getting your wear pattern, getting the pattern set up correctly on the gears. So, and that in itself, that is a challenge on the garage floor and not on a lift, So yeah. That took me about 3 weeks in and out, not working on it straight, but it took about maybe 2 weeks in and out with the gear set and on time off and getting everything set up correctly. And
right.
I mean, I think it's set up correctly. I don't have issues with it. It looked good. It sounds good. It doesn't whine or anything. So, and it hasn't broken the track.
Yeah.
It's been in, I think, for like a year. So.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you did everything right. So.
Again, thank you to YouTube, and watching videos. That's how I learned. That's how I learned everything, So, but I did have a long, like I said, my dad was a Ford guy with his Mach 1, and we had Ford pickups and all that kind of stuff back in the day. And then my first job with a paycheck in high school was working at an auto parts store. So, and I had buddies with hot rods and older cousins with cars and that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
it's not like alien to me, but the fine tuning and really learning the nuts and bolts of like putting an engine together and all that kind of stuff is all from YouTube, man.
No
it's
doubt.
all from learning from channels like yours, and probably the early ones I watched. Did you ever watch House of Dula?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so he was building his car like when I got my car, and 5.0 Tussin Rodney was building like with his Trojan horse build.
Yeah.
When he was building that was when I got my car, so I kind of just followed along with these guys. Kind of did what they did, and like Justin 91 LX, you remember him?
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah. So these guys were all like building their cars when I got my car, so we're building a project, and I just kind of followed along with them, and Brutal with the Retro Fox.
Oh yeah,
was right around that time.
That's my favorite build of his is the Retro Fox. So
that was right around that time when he was building that, even before he had that shop, when he was in his garage in his house.
Yep, I remember that.
That was I just follow along with those guys, man. They taught me,
Yeah.
So
is the House of Dula still around? Do you know? I mean,
I check in time to time. I'm still subscribed to his channel, but nothing pops up on my notifications. So I do scroll by from time to time. I don't think he's posted. He posts like something every 6 months now, it seems like. So
okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
I really don't know.
Family probably,
For sure, man. I think he bought some property,
Okay.
and just kind of like probably got to put his resources elsewhere,
I hear you. All right, so here's a question for you.
Sure.
Speaking of YouTube, so why did you start your channel? What was the purpose?
Main thing for me really was so I told you, like, my dad, he just turned 80. My dad lives back in Maryland, and I'm in Sacramento, California. So
okay,
we're on opposite coast. We only get to see each other once a year. So I kind of did the channel just so he has something to follow along and see what we were doing. Just kind of
right on.
And honestly, with everybody else doing their builds at the same time, I used it as a resource for people to help me out. Like, hey, I need help with this, or my car's acting up. What do you guys suggest? So, and that's still that way.
Yeah,
it's still that way. I mean, that's the beauty of it, you know, like JD rods, you know, we back and forth a little bit and all that kind of stuff, you know. And of course, you know,
Yeah,
you and I chat from time to time.
of course.
So,
Yeah.
but
And so,
I like the community, you know. I
yeah,
like to learn and share my experiences and see if people can help and see if I can help other people, you know. So
there it is. Well, I find your channel very informative, you know. I mean, you go
I
into a
appreciate that, man.
lot of technical details that most channels don't go into, you know. So
I
I really
appreciate
enjoy
that.
your content, Donald, you know.
Yeah,
So
I mean, honestly, I'm not here to. I'm not here. I don't make any money on YouTube. I'm not even eligible to be, you know, to be monetized.
well,
So I'm not.
even if you're
I'm not.
monetized, you don't make any money, so it's all good.
I, I've heard that. I've heard that,
Yeah,
and
I
they're
know
making it
that.
harder to get monetized. So,
Yeah, that they are now. Yeah,
but
starting next year.
I do it for the community. You know, I do it for
Yeah,
guys like you and you know JD Rods and you know Adam Grover and Terry Grover. Those guys are awesome. You know,
yeah,
just
that they are.
so many people. There's so many people that are cool. You know,
Yeah. So
and have similar.
did your dad race cars too, or?
You know, not when I was a kid. He says he says he used to street race around Washington D.C. back in the day. You know,
Oh yeah.
he said he used to beat up on a lot of Camaros, but
Right on.
but not since not since when we were kids. You know, then he's a family man, so took care
Yeah,
of us. You know,
understood.
and we moved out to the country when I was a kid, so it wasn't much racing out there. So anyway,
Yeah.
my folks worked very hard to provide for us, so
Yep.
um, I respect and appreciate that, and thank them for that, and to give us a good childhood and upbringing, and you know, teach us morals and all that kind of stuff. So
Well, it sounds
that
like
was
he's a good man. So
oh yeah, he's awesome.
that's good.
My dad's awesome, man. So I couldn't have a better dad. So
Yeah.
anyway, that
Yeah.
was
No.
that was you know, we had the Mustang when my brother John is 2 years younger than me, and then my brother Michael came along when he's 5 years younger than me. But basically, yeah, when my brother John came along, and then the Mustang didn't have a back seat really, you know, so we went from a 69 Mach 1 to I think to like a 74 Impala. Still a family car, you know?
Wow.
Yeah,
74
and
Impala.
then the gas crisis hit, and then we went to like Pintos in Vegas, you know, in the early '80s.
Yep.
So then we moved out to the country, and then my dad got like a '79 F-250 because we were out in the country, and he did a little firewood sales on the weekends type of thing. You know,
Okay.
worked all week and then cut firewood on the weekends type of thing with his truck. Did that for
Okay.
a couple of
Cool.
years with some other neighbors, so they had a little business. So you know, that's no time for racing. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
raising three kids, and
Yep.
trying to. So anyway,
Yeah. I know my dad.
I have no complaints, man. We had a
Yeah. I
great
hear that.
childhood.
I know my dad. Well, this is obviously way before I was born. He was actually a moonshine runner in Oklahoma. So he had
Okay,
a he had a hopped up um, Oldsmobile Rocket 88, I guess back in the day that was really hopped up. So
yeah,
he drove that until he wrecked it, you know, and then he started having kids, and then he got out of the moonshine game and raised me and my brother. So
right. Now, were you originally from Oklahoma?
no, I was born here in Portland, but
Oh,
I
okay,
grew up in Oklahoma. So
I got you.
yep,
I
yep.
thought
Cool.
you were born in Oklahoma.
I might as well have been, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Stayed
know.
away from Portland so
I
long.
knew you were there, so but
Yeah.
I've never been
Yep.
to
Yeah.
either one of those two states.
How long you
Well,
been in Portland for most of your life, James?
yeah, I grew up here. See, I was born here and then lived here till I was like
Come on, baby.
10 or 11. And then we
Okay,
moved to Oklahoma, I think right around, 1980 or so. We moved to Oklahoma.
okay,
And then I graduated high school. And then like a year later, we moved back to Portland.
gotcha.
So
Okay, so you and
yeah,
I are probably about the same age.
I'm 57. So
Yeah, I'm 55. So
okay, yeah. So we're same age.
yeah,
2 years is 2 years, right? So
Right. Yeah. At this point, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that was I don't know. How'd you like Oklahoma? Just a lot of country, or were you in the city, Oklahoma City, or?
No, we were in Lawton, Oklahoma, which is where Fort Sill Army Base
Oh,
is. We were down there
okay.
where my dad was born.
I
So
got
we
you.
were there. My mom was born in Enid, Oklahoma, which is north, up near
I've heard of
Kansas.
that. Uh-huh.
And so we lived in Lawton, and Lawton's okay. It's just a really small town,
Right.
and the thinking in the field there was different. That's all I'll say. It's just different,
Probably
And so,
definitely different than Portland, too.
oh, dude, I mean, yeah. I mean, way different,
Right.
I mean, when I was in high school, literally the town was so small basically that, a group of us teenagers would be like in like the mall parking lot, say like on a Friday night, drinking beer and playing
Right.
loud music in the parking lot. Cops drive by with their spotlight, shine it on us, and then tell us, okay, see you guys later. And they just drive off. They knew what we were
Yeah.
doing, they just let us continue to do it, and then we'd go home and, drive home. Probably shouldn't have been driving though, but
Right.
that's what we did back then.
Yeah. Similar. I grew up out in the country in southern Maryland after, when we moved out of DC, the DC area. And same thing, we'd have like cul-de-sac parties and stuff like that, like,
Oh yeah.
Cops would pull up and they'd either take our beer or just make us dump it out,
Yeah.
out in the country.
Out in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And so you grew up in Maryland. So what brought you to California?
One of my buddies from high school, his mom worked for the IRS in Washington, D.C. And there used to be a branch here in the Sacramento area. And she transferred out to this area and said we could come out here and they'd help us get started, so we drove across country in 1989 in a 69 rusted out 69 Camaro with a little U-Haul trailer in the back, and been here ever since, man.
Wow, rusted out 69 Camaro.
East
Really?
Coast and rusted out, salt on the roads,
Towing a U-Haul trailer. Wow.
327 Power Glide.
Dude.
Yep.
A classic Camaro towing a U-Haul trailer. That's wow. Yeah.
Put the trailer hitch on it.
Yeah.
It was small. It was only like an 8-foot long trailer. It was tiny. I mean, we didn't have nothing. We were teenagers, man. I was 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was 18. My buddy Brad, his real dad lived in Austin, Texas, and his mom and his stepdad are the ones that moved out here. So we drove down to Austin, Texas, and stayed there for like a month. I had my 19th birthday in Austin, Texas, January of 1990, and then I liked Austin. I told Brad, I'm like, dude, we should just stay here, man. This place is cool, And then he said, no, we got to go to California. My parents will be pissed if we don't come out. And he says, but if it sucks, we'll come back. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So, but this was back in the day when you had traveler's checks,
Oh, I remember those.
So I left Maryland in December of '89 with $1,100 of American Express traveler's checks. Got all the way across country and still had like
American Express
$400 left.
traveler's checks.
Yep.
Wow.
Got them at the bank where you have to sign each one, in front of the bank teller. So that was back in the day, man. I still remember it. We had a great time. I would recommend everybody do something like that,
Yeah,
create
no
some
doubt.
memories, create some memories.
Exactly.
It was super cool. We had a good time. So, but I've been here in the Sacramento area since January of 1990. So
yeah. Okay, right on. How did you meet your wife?
We typical, we met at a club, so,
no doubt.
out partying,
And then the rest is history, huh?
Yeah, we've been together since we started dating in 2009, so almost 20 years.
Beautiful.
Coming up. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's awesome.
How long you been with your wife? You guys been together for a while. You guys got a pretty big family.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually been together for quite a long time, but we've actually been married. I would say, I better get this right. Going on 18 years.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
we've been
I didn't mean
together
to
for
put
a
you on
long.
the spot.
No, it's
And
good. It's good. I mean, she either let me in the house or not. So
she will, man. She will.
it's all good. But
Your wife's cool. Your wife's super cool.
oh,
So,
thank you. And so is
yeah, we
yours
got to
for
get up there
sure.
and visit again, man.
Yeah, you're welcome to come up.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah,
So
we had a great time last time we were up there, man. So really
yeah,
appreciate the hospitality. That place we went to breakfast was awesome.
yeah, that little spot there, yeah, that was good.
Yeah. What was it called?
I forgot the name of the place now. I hope it's still there. I think they actually took it off, to be honest.
Oh,
I
you haven't
think
been there since we went to breakfast there, huh? You haven't been there?
I've been there like once or twice, but
Okay.
you know, not recently.
Sure.
But that was
Well,
a
we were
good
just
spot.
up there last year.
Yeah, that's true, right?
It was just a year ago. We were up there visiting.
And a lot's
Anyway,
happened since then.
we'll
Huh?
have to do it again. We were in Oregon a couple weeks ago, but we were only in Southern Oregon. We didn't make it all the way up to Portland. So. I was going to ask you if you wanted to meet up, but that's kind of a long drive for you guys to come down to like Medford, or Ashland.
Well, yeah, it's a few hours, but you know,
yeah, I didn't
it'd
want
be worth it.
I didn't want to impose, but we wanted to. We kind of like that area. The Southern Oregon's pretty neat.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It gets really hot down there, though. So
true.
Really,
That's what I think we were up there in
really
May,
hot.
so before it got real hot. But anyway,
yeah.
Any other questions I can answer, or
I don't know. Anybody have any questions out there? We'll give it a second.
I'll probably put them all to sleep.
No, you didn't. It's been really good having you on, Donald. I really appreciate you, man.
Oh man, obviously, I like you. We have a little bit of a relationship outside of YouTube, and
yeah,
we talk offline a little bit here and there. So
yeah, true.
Obviously, I appreciate the opportunity for you to expose me to some of your subscribers, and if they can check out my channel.
Yes.
If there's any value in that, and I do want to warn your subscribers that my channel does not have any fancy editing, and it's just a guy with his camera, So
well, nothing wrong with that.
I guess what Dave Chappelle would say, keeping it real, right?
Keeping it real. Exactly.
Keeping it real. No editing.
No editing. That's always good. And for those out there listening, feel free to go over to Donald's channel and show him some love, man. Subscribe to his channel. Watch his videos. The dude is really good. He knows what he's doing. He's really smart. And you can learn some things like I'm constantly learning from him, so.
You humble me, man. That's high praise. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm telling the truth, brother. I'm telling the truth.
Thank you.
So,
and again, I don't do YouTube to make money. It'd be nice if I could get monetized and pay for a couple of bolts and brackets or whatever, but I don't do it for that. I do it for
the whole
family,
thing
friends, and family, friends in the community.
Exactly.
So
there is a person here that says they have a question for you.
Sure, man.
Third pedal fox body. His name's Oscar. What's your question, Oscar? Just waiting for him to post it. But the whole thing is that YouTube really doesn't really pay a whole lot of money per se.
Yeah.
Unless you're like over 100,000 or 50,000 subscribers, right? So that's the thing.
That's what I always wonder, like what big channels like Cletus and stuff make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or like Foxcast Media and Brutal. They must make a lot of money because I'm currently monetized and I don't make any money hardly. So
wow.
So but whatever money I get from YouTube, I give it to my daughter because she does all the editing, right? I just do it for fun, so I pay her, plus I still work full time, so I really don't need it. But it's just fun for me.
Yeah, I agree. I learn a lot from YouTube, so I don't want to say I do it for necessarily like giving back, but just to keep people in the loop that are in the similar situation or whatever. If I can help somebody, I try to answer as many comments that come my way. I don't think YouTube is really good about notifications either. So if I miss somebody's comments and I don't respond, it's not anything personal. You know, it's I don't think YouTube is good with notifications. So
no.
you know.
Well, Jesse says that that it's great learning about you, Donald. That's what Jesse just posted.
Thank you, man.
So.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And that's Puzzle Fox. So
okay. If any of you guys got channels, man, put up the link in your channels in the chat so I can subscribe to you guys too. I try to do that. So, anybody that subscribes to my channel, I try to subscribe to their channel. I mean, just help each other out.
Well, exactly. That's what it's all about. So Third Pedal Fox Body says timing chain specific LMR 100 plus AutoZone 25. LOL. So
if that's the same exact part number, I think you'd be foolish to. I mean, AutoZone would be easier to do a return, I would think, if you have an issue with it or if it doesn't fit, than messing with LMR as far as that's concerned. I just get a double roller, and if you want to be able to adjust, degree in your cam and stuff, get the sprocket with the 9 keyways on it, on the crank. But I honestly, every time I did degree in the cam, it's almost spot on. So you really don't even need all that. Just get a quality chain, make sure the chain's not going to stretch real easy. Double roller. I like the true roller stuff, where the link inside the chain spins.
Exactly.
Rollmaster's a good brand. I think Summit's got Summit branded stuff looks like they got a nice one. I don't know if you need all the adjustable stuff or not. I mean, I have found I haven't need to make a lot of adjustments at the cam sprocket or the crank sprocket. When I degree in my cams, I do put the degree wheel on and check everything. It's almost always within like a half a degree. So you can't even make a half a degree adjustment with those 9 keyway sprockets anyway. So
no.
But just just get a quality unit, I think, Cloys, Comp Cam, something Rollmaster, something like that is going to be a quality unit. Double roller.
As long as it's a double roller,
Yeah.
I mean, AutoZone,
if it's the same brand, save the money. If it's not, if it's a house brand, I would investigate it.
Yeah. Yeah, the house brand definitely investigate, but if it's like a name brand, like Ford Racing or something like that, why not?
Exactly. Yep.
If it's going to save you some money, go for it,
Yep.
And if you're putting in like a basic, a basic cam, go dot to dot basically, So, but if it's like a performance cam, you might try to degree that in, if you want, but I said the majority of guys, they go dot to dot on almost everything, so
you start dot to dot when you degree it in anyway. And usually you don't have to make an adjustment. So you're good,
That's true.
That's true. Basically, I don't really think of it as like degreeing in the cam. I think of it as just verifying, verifying, verifying your timing events, match your cam card. That's all I do. If somebody, if I'm my engine builder or somebody, recommends, hey, you should really advance the cam a couple degrees, then I'll do it that way. But I always start at dot to dot and just use the degree wheel to verify it matches the cam card. That's all.
Exactly. So, all right. Good night, Jesse. You take care and tell Nora we said hi, brother. Give her a hug for us.
Take care. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out.
And then so Oscar says, so stay away from the house brand. I don't want to do this 2 times, LOL. Right. Exactly.
Understood, man. Yep.
Pay the money once and just do it right, so
there's the one again, if you're cool with spending like $100, there's like the Rollmaster, and there's the one chain that doesn't really stretch much, at least from my research and knowledge on Rollmaster, is it's a chain from Germany called EWIS, IWIS.
IWIS, EWIS.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's if it comes with like that chain, the EWIS chain, IWIS chain, those are known not to stretch much. So if you want to do a one and done, I would look for like a Rollmaster set with that chain. And
Okay.
it'll be like 100 or 120 bucks. That's about the going rate. So maybe that's what he's referring to from the LMR unit. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Something like that. I believe that's right. So
Yeah.
then the to your knowledge, how much play should be in the chain? None?
No, I mean,
It should be a little bit, right? Just a slight
I
bit.
think so. I mean, just for, again, if it's going to stretch a little bit, then you probably want it a little tighter when you start, you know, and
Yeah.
that it, but you guys, and probably a lot of your subscribers probably watch some like David Vizard videos also.
I'm sure
And
they
he did
do.
a thing where if the chain is too tight, that can take like 10 or 15 horsepower. So, you know, but you don't want it loose to where, I guess what you do is just, you know, put your balancer on with the timing marks and make sure you don't have a lot of slop, you know, and you're
Right.
losing, you know, and the timing's changing. If the timing's not changing, then I guess it's tight enough, right?
Exactly. And so, hey, Oscar, it's IWIS, EWIS, right? And then
I think so. Yeah.
yeah,
I think
and then
that's
he
correct.
says,
That's supposed to be a really good chain that's not going to stretch.
right. And I think he wants to know your recommendation on a balancer. Balancer.
I just get an SFI rated balancer. I'm running the Summit brand right now, and
Right.
no issues. So they're like 120 bucks or something like that. Of course, you know, high-end race cars run the $500 like ATI balancers or Innovators West and stuff like that, but I don't think I'm at that level where I need that. So,
Right.
but I need the SFI rating so I can pass inspection, you know, check at the racetrack.
Exactly.
Just
Are those inspections pretty thorough at the racetrack? They pretty thorough?
Yeah, they are. Generally, they are. Usually, a lot of times, though, if you go to the same track all the time and it's the same guy and they get to know you, a lot of times they'll just say, "Hey, have you changed anything since last time?" You know what I mean? And but they want to make sure you got an overflow tank. They want to make sure, you know, one track I run at requires you have a engine diaper on the car, you know, underneath the oil pan.
Engine diaper? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you throw a rod, you don't spill oil all over the track. And so of course I keep an engine diaper on the car. I don't think safety is something that's worth skimping on.
No,
So
it's not. No,
just,
never.
And I just don't want to have to like feel like I'm cheating my way through tech, you know, tech inspection.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just want to have all my stuff in place. I got a fire extinguisher in my car. I've got the battery cut off in the back, everything, my flywheel, pressure plate, you know, all that stuff is all SFI rated if they want to look. Quick time bell housing, you know, steel bell housing. And again, I don't want to blow a clutch up and cut my foot off. So
yeah, well, you know, it's safety first, and it's all about going home, right?
For sure. So that's
going home.
That's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, and I agree with what Lewis said here. He said it really depends on what you're building, you know, as far as like the different brand or quality of parts you use, right? So, I mean, if you're building a race car, yeah, you know, but if you're just building a street car, well, you know, there are certain areas that you can cut, right? You know, so, and that's okay.
Yeah, just get a decent brand, you know. I mean, there's Pioneer balancers I think are good for like your stock replacement, you know, or Ford Performance has theirs. I don't know. It seems like some of the Ford Performance stuff is not a good deal as far as pricing.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't need anything SFI rated, you can certainly save some money.
Exactly.
But I get all SFI rated stuff just so I'm safe, you know.
Yeah. Well, you're drag racing yours, so
right. I don't want to have any drama in the tech lanes, and I just want to have the you know, I want to have the peace of mind, you know, that I'm following the rules.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Oscar says, I don't even know what cam is in my car, but I'm replacing everything from the timing chain up. Okay. So you're not replacing the cam, Oscar? Is that right? If you're not replacing the cam, I mean, you've heard it run, right? If it doesn't chop, it's probably the stock cam, perhaps. You know, so if it doesn't chop, it's more than likely it's a stock cam, more than likely. But you know, to be on the safe side, just get you a good quality, you know, timing chain set up, you know, good quality balancer. And like Donald was saying, it doesn't have to be SFI rated because you're not drag racing it, I'm assuming, you know, so
Just make
I'll
sure
just
it's
go with that.
the right balance for the engine, you know. If it's a stock 302, you know, I think that's the 50-ounce imbalance, you know.
Yep.
If you have
50-ounce
a
balancer.
lot of them are 28-ounce imbalance, or, you know, if you're going a little higher end, a lot of them are, you know, the forged cranks can be internal balance. So there's 3 different options to just make sure you choose the right one.
Yeah. Well, one thing to figure out. Well, thank you, Fred. I appreciate that. You have a good weekend as well, brother. Take care. He says that no, the car doesn't chop. Feels good. It feels great though. I definitely would like to race it someday. Okay. Well,
Get the SFI balancer.
yeah.
I would. I mean, if you plan that in the future.
Yeah, just spend a little bit extra money and do it now.
It's only like $25 more than a non-SFI on a lot of them. You know?
Yeah.
I got,
The main thing is when you look at your balancer, Oscar, see if you have a 28 ounce or a 50 ounce. If you have a 50 ounce, then obviously you more than likely have stock internals, right? You know, but if you have a 28 ounce, then obviously you have something different. Could be a stroker kit in there. You never know.
Or I think it's or the 302s before 1982 were 28-ounce balance.
Oh,
The
that's
early
right.
302s were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's running anything that early, but
okay. Cool.
But yeah, cool, man.
And a lot of these will the balancers will come with the different weights you can put on them sometimes too.
That's true.
They'll come with a different weight, or you can take the weight completely off for if it's internal balance.
Yeah.
But, I'll show you the. Yeah, I just wanted these do well. My
hold on,
machine shop summit.
I'll make you full screen. There you go.
They have an SFI rated and a non-SFI rated. The non-SFI is a little less expensive, but
right.
If you're going to race it, I think it's like $20 more or $25 more to get the SFI rated one. And that's
not bad.
Yeah, and my machine shop recommends those. He uses those on a lot of strokers. Never had an issue. So, and I've been very happy with the Summit brand parts. So I have them in this engine that's going 130 miles an hour. So
yeah, he was wanting to know about the part number. Can you show the part number?
Oh yeah, let's see. This one is Summit 163 289.
And that has the option of
well,
taking
this
the weights
one's
off.
a 28 ounce. So it's 289 would be 28 ounce.
Okay.
So it will be a different part number for a 50 ounce imbalance, but that's the brand. And you know, Summit's website's pretty easy to navigate as far as you just click if you want a 50 ounce balancer, it'll show you those options. You know.
Right.
This one is a 28 ounce imbalance. That's a part number for a 28 ounce. So.
Lewis says, I'm installing a Amazon balancer on my brother's car, bro. He goes, listen to Donald. He knows his stuff 100%. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean, I think Amazon has name brands also, but if
they do.
You know, if it's a China balancer, I'd be a little, you know, concerned. Unless if it's just an OE replacement, then I imagine that's fine. But
yeah,
I wouldn't go with a no name for performance. You know, I wouldn't.
Have you ever thought about going with a internally balanced engine?
This my new my Boss 347 will be.
Okay.
I
hear that makes everything last longer.
Is internal balance, yeah. So
okay.
The thing so on these stock block builds, even a cast crank is going to be stronger than the block, and the cast cranks you don't really find in internal balance. They're usually 28 ounce. So that's why I've never gone internal balance, because it's like you know, putting a forged crank in the block that's going to blow up way longer than the crank, you know, the crank can handle. The cast crank is
Exactly.
stronger than the block anyway. So I've never wanted to spend the money on a forged crank.
Yeah,
They're
it
quite a
makes
bit
sense.
more expensive, you know. I mean, these cast
They
cranks are
are.
like $300, and a forged crank they're up to like $1,000 now for a
Yeah.
crank, for a
And
forged
you'll
one.
and you'll
I think
destroy
they
the
were like
block.
$650 like a year or two ago.
Oh, really?
$699, $700, and they're like $900. And that was the one when I told you I was going to get the crank from Jim at Ford Strokers.
Uh-huh.
So he carries Liberty cranks, which are basically the same as these Eagle, but the Liberty he had forged cranks for like $729. So I ordered it, and then he was out of stock. You know.
Go
So
figure.
yeah, of course, you know, hey, the good deals don't always last, man. You know.
No, they don't. You got
And of
to
course,
jump on them quick.
that's why he didn't have an ETA on a. You know, they had to refund my order because they weren't going to get them back at the same price. You know.
Yeah.
So I had to go elsewhere and get this Eagle crank and pay $930 plus the shipping, kicked around shipping, you know, from FedEx that I paid for, you know.
Yeah, somebody was weightlifting with your crank, man.
For real. Dropped it out of the box and everything, man.
Yep.
So
That's
I was a little
crazy.
upset about that. And that's, you
Yeah.
know, but I did, you know, I was going to buy all my stuff from Jim, but he was out of the crank. And so I got the pistons and rods from him, which he had a great deal on those too. So I like doing business with him. Him and his wife are great. So you're in good hands with your engine.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. They seem like really good people. So
Yeah, they're awesome. He's been doing Ford Strokers for like 30 years, so he knows what he's doing.
yeah. Yeah, I know I'm going with the 11R heads that has the offset, you know. And so him and I were kind of going back and forth about the rockers, right?
Right.
You know, because they're like a certain degree difference, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he finally told me, he was like, I use trick flow for everything, including those heads, you know. And I was like, so I don't need the Harlan rockers, right? And he was like, no, you don't, not at all. And he said basically that if it needed those special rockers, then Trick Flow would have made some
Offered
already.
them. Yeah, they would have offered them.
And I was like, okay, we'll go with Trick Flow. It's all good, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
So if you look at those Harlan Sharp, the twisted wedge specific rockers,
wedge.
you know where the cup goes into the cup, where the push rod goes into the top of the rocker like this, you know.
Yep.
So all they do is they move that cup over like 20 thousandths or something. You know,
just
off
20
to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, they just move that cup over. It's got basically an offset little cup in the rocker arm body, and that's what you're paying for that. You know.
Wow. So how would a Trick Flow regular rocker work in that situation, though? You know what I mean? If it's off that much.
I don't think it's off. You know what I mean? It's nothing that the rocker itself can't compensate with, like the guide, setting up your guide plate and all that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Just getting lined up. So if Jim says it's good, dude, you're golden. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
don't worry about
I
it.
trust him. You know, he's a professional.
Exactly.
You know, I'm just a DIY guy. So
I've always thought about trying those Harlan Sharp rockers on my twisted wedge heads, but never could pull the trigger. And with COVID, they were out for a long, long time. So I don't even know if they're back in stock now.
Yeah, I looked them up, and I think you can order them now.
Okay.
You know, but he said that he's never.
The 11Rs are different from the twisted wedge, even. So even those, I wouldn't advise getting the twisted wedge ones on 11R. That's the twisted wedges are not the same valve angle as the 11Rs.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even mess with it. And if Jim says,
I think I think they are twisted wedge 11R or something like that.
Okay.
Or something like that. You know, so
maybe they modified them a little bit.
Yeah.
But
and so Oscar said twisted wedge heads with a question mark. So can you describe those? What those are?
So what twisted wedge heads are? So say like your regular wedge head, all the valves are in line like this. You know, a straight line.
Yeah.
Twisted wedge is they twist the location of the valves like that.
So they're just slightly off a little bit like
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. They twist the valves in the combustion chamber.
that. And so what is the supposed benefit of that?
Just more flow.
Yeah.
More flow. And then twisted wedges have a different angle than like an AFR.
Yeah.
AFRs are the traditional like 20-degree. The valves are at a 20-degree angle. Twisted wedges are like at 15 and 17. Intake and exhaust are different angles. And the 11Rs even stood up further to 11 degrees. So
Yeah.
the taller, the taller, you can get more of a straight shot to the valve.
Yeah. I hear that little
stand it up
twist
more.
actually helps with piston the valve clearance too. That's what I heard.
And that
So,
angle.
Yeah.
When you stand the valve up, you got more clearance. The valve body, the valve tip is not leaning like this or more flat.
Exactly.
So even 11Rs even have more clearance than a regular twisted wedge because the valve stood up even straighter.
Yeah.
So,
I had heard a lot about those twisted wedge heads and whatnot, and but I was a AFR fan, obviously, and
I like AFRs too. Yeah.
Yeah, same here, but Lewis was the one that told me about the twisted wedge head, so I started investigating, and I was like, dude, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think the ones I'm getting are the 227, so they're like the large ones.
Oh yeah, those are the new bad boys. Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna flow good, man.
Oh yeah. The reason I went with trick flow is, with having an 86, the 86 has a flat top pistons.
Yes.
Stock. They don't have any valve reliefs in the stock 86 pistons, so trick flow heads are like the only ones that will work. So I was kind of forced into trick flow when I got heads,
Oh wow.
That's kind of why I went with, or I've been in the trick flow camp for a long time. But now, building engines, I can do whatever I want, So I'm going more back to like the inline wedge just because there's more options,
Yeah.
Twisted wedge, kind of, you're stuck with those pistons and those heads. They go together.
Exactly.
So
exactly. So what did you think of the flat top pistons like that?
I didn't have a problem with them. I think I still have them here. So
okay.
No, I didn't have a problem with them at all. They work great with the twisted wedge. They were for a stock bottom end build. Cool.
So was your compression higher then because they're flat top?
You do gain a little compression, yes.
Good deal.
So the 86 comes with the E6 heads, not E7s.
Right.
And they had a really deep combustion chamber, and that's why they had the flat top pistons, because they went with it was a 1 year only design on the E6 heads, and they didn't flow very well. They didn't the stock 86 heads kind of ran out of steam at like 4,500 RPM. The car started laying it. They didn't have no RPM, at least stock, So, but I don't know. I got rid of those. I scrapped them, took them down to the recycling center.
No, I hear you.
And I did, but I was able to run with some intake gaskets. I was able to run 3-bar GT40 heads on those flat top pistons, and they didn't hit.
Really?
So, yeah. I only ran there for like a year, and then I saved up and bought those trick flow heads, and then I never had any issues. But I have those 86 pistons, and there's no witness marks of even when I had GT40 heads on there, there's no witness marks of any valves hitting. Car ran good, had a small comp cam in it. It was 86s are speed density, didn't even have a mass air, so I couldn't go like wild on the cam.
Right.
I had to have a small cam and like a ported Explorer intake. That's kind of like, you could run bigger. You could run the heads. That heads won't really make a difference, but you have to keep the vacuum signal high on those speed density cars. So it really limits what cams work with that stock computer.
Yeah, that's true.
So, keeping a small cam and getting better heads was a big performance improvement. Anything you can
I'm sure.
do above that and keep the vacuum high, that worked fine. So
yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised how the car ran,
I'm sure.
But like you said, going back to that question, like what was the big improvements in performance was really when I started to trick out the AOD is what really woke the car up,
No doubt.
So, but then you put everything together, and then the car's pretty fast, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Put your little package together, and there you go, right?
But the one thing, yeah, when I paid somebody to put that first set of gears in, and man, you know, just picking the car up and driving home was like, whoa, this made a big difference, you know. So anyway,
I know. What does it say? Oh, Oscar says Vince asked me to ask if you guys know much about Anderson N41 cam for NA and E7 heads.
I've never had E7 heads, so I can't, and I've never had an Anderson cam, but you know, I'm pretty sure. I think Brutal's done a video on something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I would
the
check over
person
there,
to,
or like Neo Mustangs.
yeah,
I think he's probably done something like that with his dad's Fox body or something. One of those builds they done, you know, like a cam on a stock head.
yeah.
It'll help definitely.
Oh yeah.
I know Richard Holdner has done videos on E7 heads with upgraded cams, and it definitely helps pick up power.
Yep.
Even with E7s. So it's, if you're going to eventually do a whole top end kit, or even if you just want the sound, you'll still pick up some power with E7 heads in a cam. You just got to but you're going to have to upgrade the springs. So you're opening that can of worms, and then it's like, well, I might as well just replace the heads at the same time. So I don't know of a lot of people that are doing like E7 heads and upgraded cams, just because you do have to upgrade the heads to run that cam.
Exactly. Typically,
so you might as well just upgrade the heads when you're in there, you know.
Well, you know, I would say, you know, if Vince really wants to know, the best person to call would be Donnie, you know, at Anderson Ford Motorsports,
for sure, man.
You know, and tell him the setup, and he'll be able to guide you in the right direction. You know, Donnie's a really nice dude, and he does answer the phone. So
I watched his channel for a long time, man. Before he worked at Anderson Motorsports, I watched his channel.
Yep.
Donnie B.
Donnie B. Yep. Another guy that knows his stuff, man. So
yeah, he's a good dude. I was real happy for him when he got that job over there at Anderson Ford Motorsport.
Yeah,
I think he did a lot of good for them, you know, kind of reinvigorating, bringing that brand out to, and bringing that brand out to new people, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
you know,
Anderson's been around for a long time, but they weren't like the new kid on the block anymore, you know. And I think they still have good cams that make power, you know. I mean, a lot of people run their cams, and everybody I've talked to is real happy with those cams. So
yeah, well, you know, Anderson cams usually have that, I believe it's called a dual pattern or dual phase cam, you know, so that is actually sound different, you know what I mean?
I got
and
you.
It produce a little more horsepower than your traditional, you know, B cam and whatnot, you know, because of the pattern, you know. So
yeah, there's a lot to do. You can make power with the camshaft is the brain of the engine, you know. So
that it is.
If it's right, and you know, if it's right for your combination, you'll make more power with it spec'd out properly than without. So I definitely believe in that. You know, I've done a couple custom cams in the past with Ed Curtis, FTI, Flowtech Induction.
Okay.
And he's real good with cams. He's semi-retired now, but I think he's still doing cams. But you know, his stuff makes power. I've even small cams from him. I had like a little 215 cam from him. 215 duration. It's pretty small, you know, and that thing made good power. So
yeah,
it's not necessarily the size, you know, it's if it's spec'd out correctly, if everything's opening and closing at the right time, and
exactly.
You know, and when you fill out the cam card, just be honest with what you want out of the car, what you want out of the combination. If it's drag race only, then they'll make it a different way than if you want to street drive it, you know.
I know Lewis says that he runs ported E7s and a Steeda 19 cam. He says he said it works well with the stock ECU. So
there you go. Cool.
That's actually,
I don't know much about the Steeda cams. I don't even know if Steeda's making those cams anymore.
I don't know either.
I don't know the specs on those cams, but I know, you know, I bought some stuff from Steeda in the past. You know what I really like from Steeda is their tri-ax shifter for the T5.
Oh yeah, you like that?
Oh, I think that was my favorite T5 shifter, was the tri-ax. Yeah.
Okay, so what about the Pro 5.0? Is that better than that one, you think?
I never had the Pro 5.0 on a T5, I do, but my TKO 600 has a Pro 5.0 and I like it. I don't think the Triax, they have one for like a TKX or this one. So, but this Pro 5.0 is what came with when I bought this transmission used. So I don't have a problem with it. It works good.
Thanks, Mama. Appreciate it.
But yeah, I do like the Steeda Triax, man. I remember that was when I had my T5. That one shifted really good.
So third pedal asks, he goes, do you have to remove the cam to see what cam it is?
Generally, yes. Yeah. Usually they have the engraving on the back.
Yeah, it's on the back instead of the front,
Yeah,
right?
Usually it's not on the front. I mean, maybe if it's a custom cam, there might be something on the front, but generally it's on the back, I think.
Right. I know that if you want to really figure it out, you know, there's ways. I think Anderson Ford Motorsports sells them. It's like these little, they have butterfly washers on them and magnets. You can hold your lifters up, put those in, and you can put those in. Yeah, those are cool, right? You can put those in and then hold your lifters up so they don't fall in. And you can just pull your timing cover off, your timing chain off, and all that stuff. And
yeah, you don't need to take off your intake.
Nope. And just carefully pull out your cam, see what cam it is, and then you can just slide it back in. You know, if you want to do it that way, you can do that. So
I have a set if anybody needs them.
Well, there you
That's
go.
how I did my first cam change, was with those.
And you can leave your intake on too, and that's
Exactly,
even better.
Yeah. You don't have to mess with your intake or nothing. Just take your valve covers and your rockers off.
Yep, and just put those in, and you're good to go.
Yeah, if anybody needs a set, I'll let a set go for cheap. So,
well, there you go, guys. Those lifter holders, they are invaluable. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool tool. You know, if you want to, or like if you're messing with something at the track and you don't want to pull, you don't want to do a full tear down on the top end.
Yeah, they do come in handy.
Yeah,
for sure. But, so Bama says, go back up here. He says a lot of good info tonight. So
thank you, man. Thank you.
There it is. Well,
thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Donald, it's been fun, man. As always.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. We were on here shooting the breeze for a while. So
yeah,
super fun, man. Glad to catch up with you again.
Glad to catch up with you too, bro. You know, you're welcome to come back anytime.
You can call me or text me whenever. You know that.
Yeah, same goes for you. So
obviously. But yeah, next time we get up to Oregon, I'll let you know when we're coming. But we've been going to Southern Oregon more than up where you're at. So
yeah, I don't blame you. It's all
I don't expect you to, have to make that drive. I know it's, a little ways, but I'll let you know next time we're up there.
Yeah. Anna just popped on and she just left a comment. She just said it was fun.
Oh, so. Cool. Yeah. Had a great time, man. Had a great time. Again, thanks for having me. Thanks for everybody that listen to us,
Yeah.
If there's anything you guys, if you guys want to check out my channel and leave any comments, but I'm just warning you, there's no editing.
You don't need editing to have a good channel, Donald. Your channel's good, man. Your information is great.
I appreciate
you don't need all the fluff. It's okay.
It's just a lot of everybody else's channel. It's there's some great channels out there, man.
There is a lot of good channels out there.
People put a lot of, but I know a lot of guys pay for like editing and stuff like that. So
yeah,
if I get to that point where the channel's making some money and I can pay somebody to do it, then I'll certainly invest in it. But
yeah,
right now it would be fruitless. As far as well, I mean, it would be an investment. I wouldn't say fruitless, but
yeah. Well,
it would be out of pocket. You know what I mean?
We can always look up my daughter, man. She has her own little business, right? Mel Brown Studios, she calls it. So
all right, put a link in there in the chat so I can go back to it.
I will. I'll text you the link. So
awesome. Well, man, I don't want to keep you too late on your Saturday night.
Oh, that's okay, Bama. Next time, brother. Hey, man, it was good hanging out with you.
You as well, man, and all your viewers, and thank everybody for hanging out, asking questions. And again, if either of us can be a help, just jump on leave a comment in one of the videos.
For sure. And he is good at getting back to you guys. So
Yep.
It's all good. Well,
All
tell
right,
the
man.
family we said hello, Donald. You
I
take
will.
care, brother.
And you do the same. Thank you.
I will. Later.
All right. Good night.
Hey, good night. And to everybody that's listening, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Y'all take care.
Absolutely.
Talk to you later.
All right.
See you
See
next
ya.
Saturday. Bye.